Alright. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We've got ourselves a big ZVT to start off the round of 8 of GSL. Group A, I should say. Rogue in the top right side of the map, playing Zerg. A man who's been pretty on point in this matchup, though he did have a rather embarrassing, I would say. Is it too far to say embarrassing, his throw against Maru? He did get massively ahead against Maru game 1, kind of through from there. And then game 2, he was also in a good spot, but he just got obscenely greedy. Tried to go to 90 drones and just died to a very committed, I think it was like a 50 SCV push, and he was trying to go to 90 drones. It was crazy. Down in the bottom left, Byun is back on point, guys. He's been grinding every online tournament and winning a few. He's been playing non-stop ladder, and Byun at his best is just grinding. I do think the off-season has given him a bit of oomph, and he's got a bit of pizzazz, a bit of a skip in his step. Now, the one thing I noticed, like in Pigfest, the last 2 Pigfest, for instance, is Byun has been very stiff in his play, very panicky, and it means that like he's as always good at microing his way through hard situations, and I think that works really well against Rogue. But there are moments where Byun is mismacroing really badly recently behind his attacks, I've noticed. So it's weird because it feels like Byun is more Byun than ever. He's even more, I will win with this handful of Marines that I'm microing, or I'm kind of screwed and I'm behind in this game. And that actually matches up well against Rogue, because Rogue is known for being greedy, fantastic genius, macro and all that sort of stuff. But Rogue is famous for underestimating Terran armies in this matchup and just kind of being a bit too greedy, trying to drone in the middle of an attack. And a guy with Byun's level of micro and obsessive focus on attacking might be able to kind of get an opening and cause some mistakes. I would say if it goes to like late mid-game, early late game, Rogue should be heavily favored there, especially with like early hive timings and stuff. But it really comes down to a lot of different factors, because Rogue has screwed around a lot with his mass changeling style. I think I can say definitively, looking at the last few months of their games, especially when Byun beat him in Pigfest 5, actually knocked him out in the group stage, Byun was miles behind in a game, and then Rogue sat there for 15 minutes making mass overseers, and Byun made a massive comeback because Rogue gave him all the time in the world to recover. And Rogue cannot show that sort of screwing around. Like, yes, it's cool, it's creative, it's fun, the mass changeling stuff, but it's only effective if you're already behind against your opponent as a way to claw your way back into a game. It is not something you do when you're ahead. So that's been the kind of recent missteps you have to look for. Is Byun maybe miss macro? I'll keep my eye on that. Rogue, it's either underestimating a Byun attack and trying to drone in the middle of it and getting overrun, or screwing around with an advantage. So what I want to see from Rogue is just brutal, lethal, just finish him when you are ahead. Do not give, even though you're meant to be the better late game player, Byun really has improved his late game, and he's very good at, massing planetaries and all that sort of stuff. If it goes to late game, I'd like to see a Broodlord tech switch, because Byun does rely very heavily on siege tanks. That's another factor of Byun's late game. He usually relies on kind of many siege tanks spread across the map, and that's obviously hard countered by the Broodlord, but because Zergs often don't play guys that play so many siege tanks, they don't recognize the pattern that's right in front of them. And we've seen Byun many times get away with mass tank turtle, and players just for 10-15 minutes bash their head on it going, man, how do I beat this? And then when they eventually make 8 Broodlords, they just wipe him super instantly. So those tanks friendly fire like mad. 3cc into Hellion Banshee for Byun. Zergling Scout gets in. Pretty good confirmation. He does fake the cloak upgrade there with the interference matrix upgrade, which he will now cancel now that Zergling goes down. Rogue's done a pretty solid opening. 3 queens out, going up to 6. Many drones on the way. Overlord timing's pretty much picture perfect. Really good macro on both sides. And this creep starting to get out here. It has been interesting. Players are prioritizing injects a bit more than creep recently. I remember if you go back a year or two, it was all about that creep spread. We'd always immediately go creep tumor first, delay the injects, but lately people have been a little bit more inject focused and letting the creep not be as fast. I think on a map like this especially, once you get creep out this lane and spreading through here and spreading down this ramp and spreading down this ramp, it's just so hard for the Terran to control it. Oh, double Evo, Rogue's going to be a greedy boy. And that's correct. Check this out, guys. Because he didn't see Cloak until after the Zergling got there, then he saw it start, he immediately made the read that Byun was faking out the Cloak. He's like, you're not actually going Cloak. I don't need to build a lair. Because normally you'd rush lair here, but instead he's going to spend his first 250 gas on 1-1 upgrades. This is genius. This is Rogue makes the most brutally good reads. He is always so in his opponent's head. Like, this is something Cheryl used to never be in his opponent's head. I think he's got really good in the last 2 years, 3 years of getting in his opponent's heads. And I know he's kind of added that Rogue element, but this is something Rogue has always been one of the best, if not the best in the world, is reading his opponent's plays and strategies like so bloody well. And that's just going to give him a big lead. Like, being ahead on upgrades against Terran is massive. It's such a rare situation. And yes, the Banshees are going to come in, but without Cloak, you got a Spore Crawler, you should be perfectly fine. This is cool, man. This is a big map. There are some brutal tank positions on the edges of this map. Something that could come into play later on as the Banshees sneak down the right side. This Overlord's very conservatively placed for Rogue. Not going to give him a lot of warning. Banshees could pick off a few gas workers. Hellions do Sniper Tumor, bounce some Queens. 2 drones going down. Good pull away. Good handling by Rogue. Now Rogue's... Ooh, Ling run by! 3 SCVs. Great job. 3 SCVs in mining time. Hellions going to cut off the retreat, though, by the looks of it. Lings will evade. And, oh, he attacks the rocks. Does catch just 1 Zergling. Maybe 2. No biggie. Rogue's at 71 workers. 5 more coming out. I think up to 77, actually. Not bad. Baneling Nest coming in. He's going to time out well with the lair, so he can start Baneling speed now. We'll see how quick Rogue is at doing that, since he is busy dealing with Hellions right now, but plenty of creep still there. We do expect that Baneling speed and a Hydra Den, I would imagine. I imagine it's ling-bane Hydra. Overlord's going to go down. There we go. Bane speed, Hydra Den, Infestation Pit, and a 5th base. Dude, Rogue is so greedy lately in this matchup. Can he get away with it? I think 78, 80 workers is fine. But already the push is coming. Marine tank, Medevac, 4th and 5th barracks is there. Two more barracks going down. He's going to 8 racks. At least 7? 8 racks. Yep, 8 racks. 8 racks before 4th command center. Incredibly committed. Byun wants to get up in the face of Rogue, and that makes perfect sense. You do not want to give Rogue room to get ready. Now, Lings are going to need to flank around this left side to deal with that tank. This is far away from his hatchery, so Rogue's got time. Yeah, he can play. I'd love to see the Ling counter, but the Hellions are there, so maybe not so easy to pull that one off. 2-2 does start, as well as a Hive. Rogue's also got the Hydra upgrade the range. Already coming in. Hellions do see the Zerglings in a fantastic volley. The Zerglings, of course, run away, licking their wounds. 5th base is coming up top, though. I think Rogue's done a great job of buying time. As long as he stays at this working out and just mass his army, he'll be good. But he's taking 2 more gases. Interesting. One could say a little greedy there. There's 3 more barracks. Are we going to get add-ons for these Byun, or are we just popping Marines out? We'll find out shortly. Marine Hellbat tank moving forward on this right side. Great tank position on that right side. And I think, honestly, you should probably give it up once they get that tank position. I think counterattack is the play, and indeed that's what he's going to do. Big ling-bane counterattack going in. Queen's trying to buy time with the ling-bane, and this is a fantastic move. Banelings rolling in. The Marine tank coming forward. If you get some Banelings on those SCVs, it would be lovely, but he goes after the Marines instead. Great pull away for Byun. Banelings do hit the Marines partially. At the same time, the Zerglings massacre those SCVs. A fantastic counterattack. And of course, Rogue now, killing 22 workers, should be happy to give this base up. I mean, he's still going to try and make Byun pay for it, but fighting into those tanks, not going to work out well for him, and Rogue's going to have to give up this high ground, I think. Yes, good call for Rogue. Good call for Rogue. He's playing real smart. Transfers to the other base. It's still 4 base against 3 base. But the ling-bane, I think this is... Oh, no. Rogue, get out of here. Yeah, Rogue needs to split his army half and half. Uh-oh, Marines coming in. Crazy move there for Byun. I guess that's what he's known for, though. Crazy moves, isn't he? The Lings do run forward, take some tank shots. Now, this is where Vipers would be massive. Abducts on the tanks, Blinding Clouds, Parasitic Bombs, really big. Hydras and Queens and Lings are going to try and fight this. Wow, Rogue trying to fight into this. Hydra's on the high ground. Can he get it? Can he get it? It's hard to reach these tanks. The tank on the right side is unreachable. He does get the tank on the left, but that was a really expensive fight, and I don't think he needed to take it. He needed to pivot to this base because he'd already given up the base on the right. But Rogue trying to defend a position he did not need to defend. As I said, there are some brutal tank positions on this map. We saw Bunny punish Raynor in Pigfest for the exact same position. And it's always about giving that base up. But oh my lord, he saves the hatchery. Rogue on fire right now, but he doesn't have Hydra movement speed. He's trying to go Adrenal and Lurker Den at the same time. The Marines shoving in the right side. He just doesn't quite have enough units. Oh, this is so bloody close with no Viper out. And 17 Hydras does seem like too many. +3 carapace, +1 range coming in. Keeps the hatchery alive on the left side, so giving up this hatchery is not too bad. Remember, it's still only 54 workers for Terran. And it has been a nice upgrade advantage, but does need the ling-bane count to be here. These Hydras with no movement speed upgrade, not as powerful as they maybe could be. Oh, Lings do get a couple of the tanks down. on medevac falling as well. Byun still hanging on the front there while gathering another force. Byun is all in. He's built tech labs. He's going to add marauders here. Lurkers are trying to morph. Trying to make drones is not the play for Rogue. Rogue's so far out on economy. But he says, oh, let's reset. Let's slow down. He cannot afford to lose this hatchery. Oh, no. I think this is a really bad moment to split his army and to drone up the Hydras. Just not quite enough. Yes, this link counter would have been a good idea, but he didn't have his lurkers ready, and he didn't have the numbers, and that hatchery can just get clicked on. He can move up, get the hatchery, get a bunch of the drones as they try to retreat as well, and that is massive damage for Byun. Yes, Rogue kills 16 workers, but losing his 4th base is a tragedy for his Zerg in this situation. Byun realizes these are unsupported as well. Transfuse tries to come down. There is still Scan on top. Lings come forward, and you can see just a few lurkers on their own are not that powerful. Once you hit a critical mass, you got ling-bane Hydra with them. They are incredibly powerful. But yeah, I'm wondering in this game, was pure ling-bane and just Viper more efficient than Hydras? I kind of feel like in this sort of game, if you can get like 8 Hydras with range, it's pretty nice. But I think he went like 17 or something. He went so many, right? He's lost 18 Hydras in this game, built 6 more, now 4 more. The mass Hydra, for me, I always wonder, especially when you've got that early 2-2 melee carapace. Obviously, you want to deal with the gaps, but I think that's what Vipers are for. Is there an argument he should have stayed pure ling-bane, got Adrenal, another army was coming in the left, got Adrenal, and used parasitic bombs to stop these medevacs, combined with obviously like blinding clouds or abducts on the tanks and that sort of stuff. I kind of think, I think pure ling-bane, just because it's so mobile and you have the upgrades for it, and it's just so much cheaper, because... Let me just go through this analysis really quickly, because I'm kind of thinking out loud, because I know the Hydras with their range damage are really nice, but like let me explain the problem just a little bit more for you guys and kind of think out loud for a bit. We've got 11 Hydras, 8 more buildings, 19 Hydras, plus the Hydra Den is 150. Like, it's just... Every Hydra is 150 resources. That's what is that? 2 times... I mean, it's 2 Zerglings is 50 minerals. So it's like 6 minerals worth in value. Now, obviously, you're spending your gas a little bit, but... It's a lot of money, and they're very fragile still, and they can still die in any upgrades as well, and the time they take to get out, their lack of mobility. I think this was an overcommitment to Hydras, and I think these tank positions actually do even better against Hydra ling-bane than they do against pure ling-bane. Because generally, like, Zerglings don't care about siege tanks that much. Banelings and Hydras are what die to siege tanks, you know, and Widow Mines and splash damage, right? Pure Zergling doesn't care about that. But pure Zergling obviously needs something to deal with the Marines, which is why you add in the Banelings. The Hydras do help, but I would say they're more of a support unit than anything. I think this may have been an overcommitment to Hydras. I would love to hear everyone else's thoughts about this. But at the end of the day, I think that probably the crucial mistake, right, was when he tried to break this position. I think if he just fully gives this base up, I think it's actually a better play for Rogue. But yeah, this is the point here. I don't think this fight is super worth it. In fact, I think it's really inefficient. And even though he ends up keeping the hatchery alive on the left, I think it's kind of like an at what cost sort of moment. Because you lose all that, and if we look at the units lost tab, which I wasn't really checking all game, check it. It's always nice casting off replays because I can just I can take the time to do a quick post game to understand what's happened. And that was not a bad fight there for Rogue, right? But Byun kind of blundered that fight, I think we would argue. But then he dives in on the right, so it ends up kind of worth it anyway. Yeah, basically, it feels like from this moment where you take this fight, even though you get a few good fights here or there, you lose so much control of, like, the map, and from now on, you're kind of, like, trying to defend here, trying to defend there, you're kind of trailing into these units, taking nasty trades, and Byun just did not rebuild his SCVs, kept his pedal to the metal, and managed to finish it off. Really brutal tank spot. I think this is a tank spot people are going to really learn to appreciate on this map. All right, guys, Byun in the bottom left. Nice aggro from him. You know, his third base took quite a bit of damage, but that natural never getting overrun worked out. I sometimes I just wish I could just be like, oi, both players, can we just resume from replay and you not build any Hydras, Rogue, and just go for the quick hive? I just want to see what would happen. I mean, you can obviously stay about 2 gases lower, and therefore have all full mineral lines, like fully saturated, 2 or even 3 gases later, maybe. I think like 4 gases is enough, whereas was Rogue going 8 gas in that last game, guys? I saw he took both gases on the front hatchery. The 4th one, I don't know if he'd taken all the gases before that, because if he had 8 gases is actually silly. That's just way too much gas. That's just I hope that you're just not going to attack me and I get away with going late game and I mean, maybe he was banking for 40,000 overseers, right? You never know. But yeah, I mean, I think this makes sense. Like, Rogue's been really struggling with Cure. Cure does a ton of 8-Raxes. I think Rogue should be more mentally prepared for this sort of aggro, even though that's not normally Byun's style. If Byun goes 3 base, he's normally not 8-Raxing. He's been mixing it in a lot. So I'd like to see Rogue show that he studied his opponent and be safe against, because this is another map where 8-Rax is perfectly fine on ley lines. You know, if they drive a wedge through this area, they can kind of get between your different expansion locations and branch off to the north or down here to the south to cut that off. There's a lot of problems that can go on. I wouldn't mind a roach opening for Rogue either, just for the early safety. On the other hand, for Byun, oh, second gas. Hello. That's a very early second gas, guys. What's that for? What is that for? That's before factory. Oh, I guess it was the CC first, though, wasn't it? Right. Okay. Yeah. No. I guess if you're doing the CC first, fair enough. Okay. So it's just a CC first into factory. Do we get two? I was thinking of like 2 base pushes out of Byun, but I don't think he does a 2 base push off this opening. Double orbital does go down. He's pulled 1 worker off each gas, keeping the minerals as the priority. Rogue has no idea what he's up against. His Overlord went on a real roundabout path. He's paranoid about proxy barracks. And he did build 4 Zerglings and made Ling speed before 3rd hatchery. Oh, this is a terrible opening for Rogue. Not like terrible, like he's playing bad, but against Byun is doing the most greedy defensive opening, right? So as Rogue, you don't need Zerglings. You don't need early Zergling speed because Hellions are delayed. So Hellions are going to be delayed a little bit, not massively, but a little bit. There's no Reaper pressure. You've built the 4 Zerglings. You hit a drone at the 3rd to hide it from a Reaper that didn't exist. So Rogue's playing like really just the safe, solid, standard like build that you would do against a 2-Rax Reaper or a normal Reaper expand. But Byun's actually being greedier. So it just gives Rogue a small disadvantage. And the reason I bring this up is, remember, we watched Serral against Clem in Pigfest. Serral was really struggling against Clem when he was doing this sort of opening that Rogue was doing. And partway through that series, after dropping a few maps in a row, just getting overrun by Clem in rather one-sided games, he swapped to skipping Ling speed for 30-40 seconds, delaying or not getting it entirely and going roaches. He was like being super greedy, skipping Zerglings where he could in the start. Serral started to cut all these corners, and we saw like the series changed from Clem just overwhelming him with way too much stuff too early to Serral actually having the momentum and crushing some fights. And it's these little things in the early game that really add up in Zerg versus Terran. It's such a tempo matchup. What the... Sorry, guys. I'm bouncing around in my chair. I know you guys can't see me. I did not expect mech. Oh, my lord. Byun actually has pretty good mech, guys. It's... His late game transitions suck with mech. They're really bad. But my god, is he powerful in the mid game. And it's so surprising because it's Byun. And we are seeing Zergling focus play. 10 Lings being built right now. Oh, I mean, if you surround them, sure. Now, how much does he play Battlemech? I'm sure he gets a few Cyclones, probably double Tech Lab, builds a couple Cyclones, and I'd say 4 Cyclones and a whole bunch of Hellions with Magfail. You're going to try and do some damage. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if they play on a mod. I do not know if they play on a mod, which means the Cyclone does cool down. It's lock on in, I think, 2.8 seconds rather than the 4.2 seconds it's meant to be. There are mods that fix it, but for some reason, I mean, we've been too lazy to enforce it in our weekly cups, just because the Cyclone doesn't seem like too broken, even though we really should be. And Blizzard's too lazy to fix it because they're, you know, a small indie company who can't afford to update any of their games, even when there's fixes that have been done by the community for the last 6 months ready to go. Clicking that button is difficult. 2 Cyclones Magfield, Armory on the way as well. 3rd Command Center does go down. Yeah, I really feel like we should all be playing on mods. I don't know if GSL has played on a mod or not, but I really do feel like at this point, we should not be using the live version of StarCraft just due to Blizzard's incompetence, but we'll see how we go. Blue Flames on the way. 10 more drones, Baneley Nest, Lair, and the extra hatchery are there. That 3rd Command Center is landed. We're going to go 5 factories next, I would imagine. Don't know what the fast armory is for. Maybe just for an armor upgrade? Dude, Rogue just has no idea what's going on. He's going Lair, Baneley Nest. If he goes Overseer early and Scouts, it'd be good. But otherwise, he does not know what's going on. You need Roaches against the Blue Flame Hellions. It is an early armor upgrade. Oh my lord. Oof. Chat says there's a patch waiting to go. There's every time a patch comes out, there's bugs that weren't intended, and within 2 days, they're all fixed by the community. But Blizzard doesn't actually update those fixes. That's why we had like the Colossus had the wrong range a few years ago for like 6 months as well. Same thing. It's just how StarCraft's been for a long time, guys. All right, that's a lot of units. Ling-bane's going to try to morph. Okay, Rogue finally dawning on him. Where the hell is his Roach-Warren? If he can surround with ling-bane, maybe he can get the fight. But right now, Byun shoving in, catching him completely off guard. Rogue's going to go for a Ling counterattack. It's a good choice. It's a good choice. The Queens can buy a little bit of time, but only a little bit. The Lings are into the third. Quick SCV pull, Blue Flame Hellions plus SCVs should be able to deal with this pretty chill. Oh my god, perfect positioning with the Hellions. Cleans that up. Queen's getting wrecked right now. You cannot stand and swing with the Cyclones. Oh god, Bailing Speed's not here. His Roach Warren's only just started. Byun surprising him with a very greedy command center first. Good bailing hit on a few of those Hellions, but he's got to pull back now, does Rogue. Rogue taking so many losses. Oh my lord, almost 5-1 in the trading here for Byun. There we go, he's over 5-1 efficiency. That is absolutely insane. It's, oh my lord, so much Hellion Cyclone. Yes, a few of them go down, but he's still got plenty left. And what do we have? Okay, a lot of Zerglings are popping, but more Hellions rallying in. As long as there's a pack of 5 or 6 Hellions, Zerglings are going to struggle. Oh, but the Hellions clump up. Byun with a miss micro. Byun miss micros, gets surrounded, loses all of his Hellions, but he's still got a pack of Cyclones. There's no Zerglings left. He might just have the numbers with the rally. Hellions and Cyclones coming in. The last couple of Queens go down. There's 2 Queens left. Make it only 3. More of them are popping out. Ling-bane's coming forward. A Spore Crawler waddles forward. Spores do not attack ground, guys. Literally, that's how desperate Rogue is. He is throwing anything in the face of this Battlemech push to try to slow it down. It is 5 factories up behind it as well. The Cyclones trying to pull back. They are locking on very nicely. The Banelings are taking some big damage. Very nicely done by Byun. And a good surprise here with the Battlemech push. Rogue not ready for it. Byun seemed to prepare his builds really well today, and I think Rogue might just be too far behind. I don't think he can defend this hatchery. He's taken one on the other side. He's still on 64 workers, but I mean, he's so far down in army supply. I mean, Hellion Cyclone is not the most valuable army supply. Zerg can definitely beat it from down in supply. Not this far down, though. I don't think so. It's going to be hard. He just doesn't have the numbers. Bane Speed's ready. If the Banes can connect, that could help out. But with no Hellions, not going to do that much. Only gets a single Cyclone. Roach Ravager comes forward. Bios go across, of course. Byun does not let that land. And he can just stand and swing now with the Roaches, which Cyclone's normally meant to be a hit-and-run unit. If they're able to stand in your face and just tank your attacks, things are going very bad for you as a Zerg player. +2 vehicle armor, 4th command, and a 2nd armory, all on the way behind this. Byun could swap into tank stores and more standard mech units, but he does not need to. And it's a crushing first series victory here for Byun, and a very important victory for him in a group that is completely up for grabs. All right, guys, we've got Cure in the top right side of the map. We got Hero in the bottom left, and it's going to be the second group here of Group A. The round of 8. It's so weird saying Group A, because we did Group A, we did Group B, now we're doing Group A again. Of course, it's round of 12 into round of 8, the new format. Hero is the overwhelming favorite in this group, but also, in my mind, for the entire tournament. I do not see Maru, Hero, anyone taking more than, at most, 2 maps in a best of 7, whoever faces him in the finals. That being said, it's Hero, so I almost feel like I'm jinxing him by saying he should win this season at GSL. But just form-wise, the fact that there's no Serral, no Clem in this season, I don't really know if I can see anyone else defeating Hero in a big tournament like this. But of course, we'll see how it goes. Q has had very good TVP recently. Against everyone that's not Hero, I would say Q is an overwhelming favorite in this matchup. But Hero has that it factor, that ability to do very hard to predict, kind of oddball maneuvers that seem to catch people off guard. Now, Hero going for an almost full wall-off, which seems bizarre. Normally, you'd put the Cyber Core here. You can still wall off in the middle, but you have a better choke point. Though he might just leave this right side open as well. The problem is you're a bit vulnerable to like tank pushes and stuff. The bonus of the wall off is it shuts down Hellions diving in the front. You know, you can move everything in the main to defend a drop while you wall off the front against Hellions. Downside is if they do get a tank out here and you've got to move in and out of a choke point, you get really screwed up. Yeah, Rain is in the other group, guys, which is also super wide open. I think the other group is Rainer, Gumiho Classic. Who's the other? Who's the 4th player? Someone can let us know in the chat. I'm forgetting who it is, but I do feel like both groups are super wide open. Like anyone could take out either one of those. Probe going around the backside. Interesting. So this is just going to be a reactor. Still 2 workers on each gas. I think he's going to build a starport pretty quickly here after that factory. But he is getting the command center on the high ground, 220. Adept tries to shade out, but he cancels it. That Reaper wants to jump in. The Adept is waiting. And, oh, careful, mate. Careful, mate. Gonna have to go Inject some combat drugs and heal up. Starport does go down. Slight delay on it, as you can see, but that's because he wants to go Cyclone. So he goes Tech Lab, then Starport, and you can see 100 gas, 150 minerals for the Cyclone. He doesn't have straightaway. He's prioritizing, you know, mules, SCVs, starting the next depot. Could have actually gone Cyclone before the depot. Yeah. What do you guys think? Is that a bad call going depot before Cyclone? I think if you go Cyclone first, you do hit a slight supply block, so I guess he's just prioritizing that not happening at all. Yeah, fair enough. You're always a bit starved for minerals in these situations. Oh gosh, he didn't repair the depot. I mean, this is dangerous for Hero, but also Cure should have repaired that depot up. Uh-oh, that's going to go down. Start another depot in the back. I guess his command center finishes in a few seconds anyway, so that'll unsupply block him. Cyclone should be able to defend. A depot's not the end of the world, right? A lot of players would panic here. Cure stays calm. Just replaces that depot. Meanwhile, we've got the Blink. The second gateway came in about 310, not the fastest second gateway. And that Reaper should be able to get the probe if he turns for it. Gets one probe. And he knows he's up against Blink, which is decent, but 2 Stalkers and an Adept can deal with the Cyclone, so the Cyclone has to back off. He's going to try and pursue this Adept, see if he can find it. And he will almost. Yes, he does. All right. And that should be dead, I think. Yeah. Good catch for Cure. Oh, Cloaked Banshee. Okay, I was not expecting Cloaked Banshee. Cloaked Banshee is one of the best or worst things in this matchup. Very rarely is it somewhere in between. Usually it catches them completely off guard, does crazy damage, or it kind of whiffs. There are times where players turn it into a something in between, and Banshees are just a good straight-up damage unit. So they can actually kill Stalkers pretty hard, one-on-one. Look at this, a lot of Stalkers are outside the base right now. Only one in the main. No battery in here either. That Stalker's going to get toasted. Good start for Cure. He can always pick up and get out. But that's a lot of Stalkers. Blink's getting close to done as well. He's got to get out. Pick off. Yeah, he's not even going to go back for the Marines because he doesn't know when Blink's going to finish. That's pretty conservative, you could say, but I think it's fine. Sacrifice the 4 Marines. You get a Stalker. You get 2 probes. Units lost have pretty close. You're kind of, you know, you're keeping him somewhat contained. You see now that it's 3-gate Blink, potentially 4-gate. So you know to just keep building tanks and be really safe at home. It's almost 5 minutes, so you really not having a bunker yet is kind of crazy in my opinion. Building placement's very poor for Cure. He should have built a wall off to be ready for Blink. Now he has nowhere to place a tank in the main that's safe. This is a huge error. It could cost him big time. Luckily, there's no way to spot the high ground for Hero. Oh, Hero almost got the medevac on the way home. Not quite, though. Tank and Marines should be able to defend this. Gets himself an SCV to start. Takes a second tank shot. Marines engaging this is very ballsy in that... Oh, you can blink there. I didn't even know you could blink there, guys. Oh, Hero, he does lose a couple Stalkers. You can only blink from like 1 at a time from that spot. He's lost 2 more Stalkers there for a couple Marines. I think Q is happy with that trade. The fact that he hasn't had to worry about the blink in the main is kind of good for him as well. 2nd and 3rd barracks is there. No engineering bay just yet, which means +1 weapons is going to be very late this game. Robo Bay, 3rd Nexus, Immortal in charge on the way for Hero. Kind of cool, man. I see players who I feel like their 3rd bases are really late, but Hero, even though his 3rd is late here, he's so good at finding this damage, and I think it was kind of a little sloppy for Cure not to be covering the main. 7 SCVs is a lot of damage, but Banshees fly in. 1 in the main, 1 in the natural. He's spotted them somehow. I don't know how he spotted them. Stalkers try to come back in. Looks like they just killed a depot there. Banshees do kill a bunch of probes in the main and the natural. Gonna recall an observer. Oh my lord. That's a lot of damage. The Banshee needs to get out though. Cure. Banshee's going to go down by the looks of it. Does not have any cloak energy left. At the same time, he's got an army on the right side. He's going to arrive at this 3rd charge. Only halfway done. It's only a small army, but 3 pylons. This is an instant supply block. If he just targets the pylons, that's a supply block. No more units warping. It's 1 Immortal, 8 Stalkers. There's a Banshee helping to cover as well. 4 Stalkers from behind are going to die to 2 tanks very quickly. Nexus has to get cancelled. Hero playing such a sloppy game. If it was anyone else, I'd say this is a really worrying start to the series. This is so sloppy. But it's Hero, so it's basically just Hero playing the way he always does. And he could turn this around at any moment, whether in this game or the series, right? Cure, though, starting so strong. The tank sneaking across the map was fantastic. And he's actually getting really exceptional damage. A 3rd tank waddles in, somehow does not get caught by those Stalkers. And his medevac moves it forward. Oh my lord, Colossus comes in and just insta-dies? Oh yes, it does. Blink forward happens, but how many of these Stalkers are going to die for that? So many. Tank not in range of the Immortal, funnily enough, but the Immortal does go down. And I think Q is perfectly happy with this trade. He's got +1 stim, all these things on the way. And the Banshee goes back in the main, of course. Hero F2 to the front. Didn't leave a Stalker and Observer there. Oh, and that's it. That's wipeout, man. Couldn't even deal with the Marines on the front. Picks those up, gets them out with the medevac. Banshee kills 14 workers in total. Make it 15. Make it 16. Make it 17. Make it 18. Wow, 18 kills on that Banshee. Finally goes down. Q has got his third command center started. He's got just everything going his way now. And Hero, yeah, not seeing the move out. The Banshee's finding good damage. As I said, those Banshees, sometimes they whiff, sometimes they land real big, man. The Banshees did such a good job in this game, and Q is pretty happy with this position. Desperation Dark Shrine goes down. Extended Thermal Lance is going to finish, guys. Nothing like getting... Yeah, he cancels it. He cancels it at 99% because he's like, I can't afford a single Colossus right now. There's no point getting an extension for your thing that doesn't exist, you know? Zealots and Immortals. I mean, he doesn't have the numbers to overwhelm. Hero going for a desperate attack, hoping that Q wasted too many units, and his tanks exposed at the front, but he saves both of them. They're going to siege on the high ground. The Immortal will go over to that right side, gets picked up, and will take out both tanks, but the Zealots get washed up. They do kill 14 SCVs, which is cute. I'd love to drop there and kill that SCV on the command center just to spite him, but Marine drop gets in the main as well. He's got stim. Good blink micro, though, for Hero. You should have enough. There's no combat shields on the Marines. Oh my gosh, he's going to kill more workers, though. Zealot as well. Zealot goes down. Oh my gosh, you cannot afford this damage. He could even finish that Stalker off. Oh my, okay. This might just be the GG. I mean, if you can't deal with 2 Marines and a medevac in your main base, guys, it might be time to tap out. That last Marine just would not go down. Medevac's going to try and hide in the back. There's no actual... Oh, there is space on this map to hide in the back. Sorry, I'm getting my maps confused. Marine Marauder's going to stim in from 2 screens away, find a Colossus in the open, and Hero's just going to tap out. Great game one for Q. A fantastic way to kick off the series. All right, guys, Q in the top left. A fantastic start to the series, but now we're going to Maganath, a giant map that Protoss players tend to adore. Interesting, the previous map, Tokamac's also pretty big. I feel like these are both Protoss-y maps, aren't they, guys? Or maybe Q actually wants to play a bigger map. Could be a sort of thing where he's like, actually, Hero's so aggressive, I want more space between me and him. The reason you normally don't want that is for Terran, anything aggressive, you can do anything scary, anything that can really get damage done, it involves you moving across the map. The bigger the map, the worse it is for you, right? On the other hand, for Protoss, they have warp-ins. They have a lot of proxies they do, you know, where they can then warp in on the front, warp prism on the front. Like Protoss, the map size gives them a lot of safety, but it doesn't cost them as much when they're being offensive. It still costs them a bit if they're going for it like a frontal all-in. But, you know, I feel like the Protoss loses a little bit less on the distance compared to the Terran. And that's why, in general, we kind of go, oh, we're Terran like smaller maps, right? Shorter rush distance is good for Terran. So fascinating, we've seen 2 pretty decent-sized macro maps. This one being the biggest, which I would assume is Hero's choice. Previous one probably being Q's choice on Tokamak. Maybe he just likes the terrain on that map. It's going to be Marine Reactor, 1-Rax Expand. Up against, this was Core into Nexus. Second pylon, of course, goes down into the second gas geyser. Very standard play for Hero. Q are not believing in the Reaper, but you know what's interesting is he's not actually walling the ledge. Hero. I don't really like walling the ledge either. I do feel it makes it awkward for Colossus to move up and down from your third base sometimes, or fourth base, as well as just presenting an easy angle for some tanks to siege up and kill some infrastructure later on. Now, this is going to be actually a Tech Lab. Sorry, guys, I'm blind. I just assumed it was a reactor, but it's actually Tech Lab Marauder. This is my least favorite opening in all of TVP. It's been around for a long time. Beyond's a big fan. Has a pretty... I would love someone to go and find every game, just do some stats analysis. Pretty much, StarCraft's not big enough to have dedicated stats guys or anything like that. If there's a fan out there, if you could go compile all the pro Terran matches from top tournaments and just like find the win rate of this build compared to other builds, I would love to see it. I have a feeling it's like a good 10-20% lower than the other build orders, but I could be wrong. Might just be my bias. It just feels like your amount of units you can build is so low. He just cancels his shade, recalls. He's like, oh, he did a bit of damage to my adept, no worries. You could build a shield battery if you want to be extra safe against this, or you can just keep building stalkers. And even without a battery, you can overwhelm it because it's just 2 Marauders and a Marine. So don't get me wrong, this does push back the vision of the Protoss player. It doesn't achieve too much else, and it massively delays the reactor from getting down. Now, he'll add a Cyclone behind it, and he will go for 3 barracks. So it's going to allow him to get up a lot of meaty production. You kind of expect meaty production and extra barracks buying this. Rare for someone to rush a starport because they don't have Marines to put in the medevac or anything like that. And he's going to build a battery as hero, but it's actually really late. This hero needs to pull back. He's going to need to pull the Adept down into this fight and maybe pull the probes as well. I don't think he should chase these Marauders. This is classic hero trying to pick a fight that I don't think he can win away from his shield battery. But there we go. He does think better of it. Pulls back. Third gateway's there as well. No robo for hero. He's going to rely on the sentry. I love this. I mean, look at that. You can still go fast blink. You could still do your Adept across the map. And then go, oh man, I'm low on scouting. My robo's delayed. That's fine. Just do a hallucination. And he's skipping the robo till after the third base. Nice greedy build for a big map. And this is really good because when he sees the 3 barracks, he's going to realize, oh gosh, we need to get charge. We need to get lots of gateways. He'll probably still take 3 gases because I think hero pretty much always plays 3 gas. But he could even play 2 gas here, right? Question, does he still build the Nexus? He does still build the Nexus because he figures it's a while until that push comes. He's got, like, you know, a bit of time until these upgrades kick in. But I mean, he should know from here. It's like, okay, Chrono Blink, make charge right afterwards and make as many gateways as you can. And as long as you have Stalkers on the front, because there's no starport, he can't sneak across the map. So if you get up like 7, 8 Stalkers, you can pick off a lot of Marine Marauder. He can't afford to stim his units. He doesn't have any medevacs. And you can kind of see how hero can set up in this defensive stance. He's just got to make sure he doesn't delay his gateways too long. Hero has a big problem where he scouts, pushes, and then he builds shield batteries, probes, and pylons. You've got a Nexus finishing in a little bit. Mate, you've seen 3 barracks. Hero's responses are actually insane sometimes, because how has he not started extra gateways? It's past 5 minutes, he's seen 3 barracks, no starport. And he goes Forge before gateways. Hero's... If you guys want to get good at StarCraft as a PvT player, do not copy anything Hero does. This is literally, if he pulls this off, it is because Hero is a freak of nature who's really good at StarCraft and Blink Stalker Micro. Picks off a Cyclone, good start. This is a really good start. Dude, he should be building like 3 more gateways. The fact that he is probing right now is crazy. This is a blatant SCV pull. Oh my gosh, Hero. He's still probing. Okay, can you please, you see the SCVs have been pulled, can you please stop probing Hero, you madman? He blinks in and get a tank though. Dude, his Stalkers are doing amazing damage. He's gonna recall the Stalkers, but he's already lost a bunch of them. He's got so few units here. He does force field to buy a bit of time, but dude, he's got so few gateways. Charges coming in though. The Stalkers are doing pretty decently. He's gonna blink back now. I can't believe he was probing after scouting this. Hero's responses to the things he scouts are something that need to be studied, and someone needs to question him deeply on what the hell he is thinking. He might pull it off. He's got 8 gateways coming up. He's got charge coming in. He did buy a bit of time. He does cancel the Adept Shade. He's gonna go for it pre-charge. That seems crazy. He's going for it. He's gonna pull the probes as well. He blinks forward. Cure just does not have the numbers here, it feels like. It's such a big map. And this push is not that good on such a big map. The Guardian Shield helps out so much. A lot of probes go down, but a lot of SCVs go down as well. And remember, he's getting up to 8 gateways right now. Hero's already gone back to probing. He's probing in the middle of the fight. This man does not know about cockiness, man. You know, when they told in Korea, they also have the tortoise and the hare story, guys. The difference is when Hero's mom told him about it, he was like, dude, that hare was a badass. And everyone was like, no. The moral of the story is the hare was already winning and then he got cocky. And Hero's like, oh, I know, what a badass. That's so cool. He just screwed up at the end by falling asleep. As long as I don't fall asleep, like, definitely gloating at the finish line was a good idea. I just need to not be quite as obnoxious about it. To be fair, big giant map, great Blink Stalker pressure. Very greedy response for Hero, but he did stay 2 gas, so we got to give him props for that. And the fact that he squeezed I mean, the Forge made no sense whatsoever, which is why he wasn't able to start the upgrade until now. Definitely, I would say a very suboptimal response for Hero. But at the end of the day, when you have Hero's Stalker Micro, his awareness of the push coming, his ability to delay it, to pick off units, it really just puts him in that position where it says, hey, as long as I stay 2 gas and just mass units, I will get to those Zealots eventually. And deal with it. GG, well played. All right, guys, a few good questions there from the chat after that game. They were saying, hey, if the push isn't reacted to perfectly and it still gets crushed, like, is it just a bad push? It's a giant map, Maganatha. This is ley lines now in map 3, a smaller map. But I think the big thing is, Cure was like, look, you've gone Blink, you've opened up Adept into Stalker. your observer will come in at like 4.5 minutes, a bit later than the sentry did, like 30, 40 seconds later. I'll scan it with a cyclone here. Imagine we're on this map. Observer comes in, you scan it, you kill it. Protoss has no idea what you're doing, and you surprise him, and he has no time to prepare. But Hero's sentry timing, that first hallucination scouted like the moment the second and third barracks had just started stim and shields. Factory was producing. So Hero got the perfect scout timing on the biggest map in the pool of a big all-in coming. And I think part of the reason, I think the reason Hero played so greedy and was a little suboptimal, because don't get me wrong, he still did a lot of things right in the defense. There's just a few things that were, I would consider insanely greedy, but I think the map comes into play. Maganath is so big, he said, well, you know this isn't going to work if I've scouted it. You're a good player. Cure, you're going to pivot. You're going to add the starport, keep building SCVs, starport engineering bay, go medevacs, go upgrades, maybe fake a move out, but not really commit. And then you're just going to take a third and like play a more normal game. And that's totally playable from that, which is why he played so greedy. And I think Cure just kind of doubled down on it. But Hero even sent a follow-up hallucination and confirmed the double down. So his Stalker movement was pretty perfect. Like even the diving in the main to get another tank, make the bio stim there, make him pull even more SCVs. Yeah, he loses a few Stalkers. But then also the filling up the energy to force field the ramp at the third. Like there's a lot of good moves. Don't get me wrong, Hero really, like part of what makes you a top pro is your ability to toe the line of greed and not play too overly safe. Like I said, pro gamers usually toe that line so narrowly that we should not really copy them as average Joe gamers, which is why I was like, this response is kind of crazy on paper. But Hero was like, well, it's a giant map, number one, so your push is weaker. Number two, you know the push is weak once scouted, and especially weak on a big map. So I am going to assume you're not going to commit to the push, keep playing greedy, and then do the follow-up scout, and only then go, oh, okay, I really need to build more gateways. And he was actually going up to 8 gateways as well. So, it was actually Hero, probably you could argue, stepped over the line of greed, but that's what makes him so dangerous as a player, is he's a guy who's going to push for every advantage he can, and he's not always going to do the predictable safe thing. So that's part of why, like, pivoting into a safe build there doesn't feel good for Cure. Is because, like, well, you can pivot into a safe build, hope for Hero to overreact. Hero doesn't even overreact, right? He's just building probes and a forge and macroing on up. So there's kind of a beauty, even though at my level or the level of people, in the chat and the community, what Hero did is kind of insane. It's part of what makes the great players great. It's their ability to just cut it so close to the bone, play so dangerously, and oh no, Q is tilted. He just accidentally double-clicked his SCVs and pulled them off. Oh, that's... It's really... Did you guys know that double-click in Windows, you need to double-click pretty quickly, but in StarCraft, they've actually slowed down the double-click to make it easier to double-click units, and there's nothing you can do to change that. So look at this. If I go click, click, that was a double-click. That's not that fast. Click, click. That one was just slow enough. Click, click. That's a double-click again. That's crazy. So you actually need to double-click quicker in Windows for it to register than in StarCraft. Little known tidbit. I get annoyed at it personally because we've all done that where you accidentally, you think you've misclicked a worker, so you go to click it again and then give the command, but you actually did land the first click. So then you accidentally pull all your guys off and have to correct that, lose a bit of mining time. Obviously, it's probably good for slow gamers, chat says. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's good for slow gamers with bad mechanics. You should be control clicking. Control click is way better than double click because you just hold down the control button and it does the exact same thing without you having to try and double click a moving unit or something like that, which is just super hard to do. So I understand why it's in there. Probably gives some benefit. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, I didn't realize he's going for this push. Super fast push, but there's an early sentry. I love the early sentry here for Hero. Hero trying to fight back in the series right now. Can he defend this super greedy third base with no robo? He sees the push out. He's got Blink on the way. He's got 3 stalks in a depth. Immediately another gateway goes down. I wish that was in his main base because I feel like this pylon might go down. I think he has to give up the third base. As long as Hero fights with the intent to give up his third, he can be fine here. But he's got to try to skirmish, pick off a unit or two, see what he can get. Oh, Cyclone gets some really good damage. Good pullback. Good pullback by Hero. And yeah, you just have to give up that third, send a probe down here, get ready to take a different one. Oh, I like this. Look at that. Adept is going to find himself a Marine. That's pretty slick. Nexus gets cancelled. Third gateway's coming up. And he goes 4 gas. Hero. He's like, yeah, you're not going to push any deeper. I'm just going to go 4 gas, go into Robo behind it. Interesting. Probably Robo Bay Colossus. Actually, there's no Robo yet. He might play Storm. Banshee's on the way, trying to get himself out of here. Blink's trying to chase him down. I love the reinforce for Cure, the way he joined his whole army together so that he can absolutely handle this. And Hero picks off a Marine, damages a few more. Immediate unsiege, and will he return home? I think Cure realizes those Stalkers are going to counter him. But he could maybe attack the natural, blow up that battery, get a siege up here. Dude, is Hero being too dangerous? He's trying to make charge right now. He's only on 3 gateways. The Stalkers are going to dive in and do some good damage. SCV is going to try to pull up to the main base. Good call here for Cure. This game's going to escalate very quickly. Stalker's going to take out the Cyclone. No, not quite. Cyclone did take a lot of damage, though. Oh, he's kind of move commanding it forward. He's clicked everything on the battery. He wants to just kill the battery as quickly as possible. Nice move for Cure, but he's got to be careful. Those Stalkers just recalled. The Stalkers just recalled. They're going to come down from that main base, guys. That's a lot of Stalkers, and this is not that big a Terran army anymore. He's going to get blinked on top of. The Stalkers are going to YOLO this. There's not that many Marines. They're going to kill a bunch of Stalkers, but the Medevac's going to go down. The Stalkers, many of them do start to fall, but of course, with Blink Micro pulling back the weak boys. And can he get one more? Oh, Cure almost got one more, but not quite. The tail end of that fight is so good for Hero. Hero has been kept away from a third. He's oversaturated on 2 base. He goes straight back to probing. He's on 5 gateways. What's Cure's setup? Cure lost a lot of mining on his natural. He's now building a bunker. He doesn't have stim or shield started. He's got 2 banshees. He's building a third one. Oh, this looks desperate. He doesn't have cloak on his banshees. He's making mass Banshee with no friggin' cloak. Oh god, I think he's just so worried about dying to this counterattack. I mean, Hero could just blink on the tank. I think he senses it. He does. And he's just gonna one-shot the tank. No, he doesn't quite one-shot. It does lose a few Stalkers there. Bunker gets up. There is a tank in the main in a beautiful position. Can he shoot across the thing, though? These Stalkers taking a lot of damage. That's 2 Stalkers down. I like that he spread them, though, to minimize the splash damage. And these Stalkers are taking a fair bit. They get a few add-ons. Meanwhile, Banshees are going to float in, unfortunately. They're cloakless Banshees. He just built... Yeah, third Banshee just popped at home. Q is not watching. Oh, okay. He's going to have to just pull these guys away. And felt like the first push maybe wanted to do more. But I think Q's whole plan was follow up with another, even more committed mass Marine tank Banshee push. But when those Stalkers kind of outpositioned him, it forced him to commit harder with this army than he really wanted to. And it really allowed Hero to utilize recall to its max potential. Dives in, gets damage, recalls home, cleans up army. And this is exactly where Protoss wants to have the Terran, right? It's like, oh, you're going to try and deal with this? Well, guess what? No. Oh, the Stalker Trap! The Stalker Trap is huge! Hero's not watching. He is watching, but only a little bit late. Gets one Banshee, other one deep in the red. Doesn't need to worry about that too much. Banshee comes in from this side as well. Storm's almost finished. Forge going down. Hero, I think, is in a massive advantage. He's only on 5 gateways. Stim shields +1, though, has just started. There's such a big delay before Cure can do anything. Third command center, 2 more barracks on the way as well. Cure's supply is still decent. And he's finding a little bit of damage. He's keeping his hopes alive in this game. He really is. 6, 7. Can he get an 8th? Doesn't focus fire. Would have got one more if he focus fired perfectly, but still, good damage for that one, Banshee. Oh, but hold the thought! Hold that thought, I mean. 7 SCVs go down to the Storm Drop, and if he could come back in with more, those guys are heavily damaged, which is why Cure is going to build a turret on that left side. Tempting to send a medevac in there or put an SCV in auto repair, but you don't really want to waste all your healing juice on SCVs right now. Oh, he's going for the Archon follow-up to try and finish them. Hero's like, please let me finish those weak SCVs, man. I want those weak SCVs. He's going to get 3 more, 4 more, that he's going to pick up and pull away. Third command center is floating out for Cure, but of course, if he can get back, get some more High Templar inside that prism, he's going to do well. Observer sees everything. Cure's got to get rid of that Observer. He's down so far in supply. Army supply and worker supply massively behind. 4th Nexus on the way for Hero. Hero's got a big Zealot army. He's going to unload the Archon, load up the High Templar. Second High Templar doesn't have Storm energy. He's going to warp in a few more Archons and Zealots on the front. Good Widow Mine spready for Cure. You can tell he's setting up to absorb a potential push. Marauders on the front with the Widow Mines. Marines behind. Oh, man. This is scary. He scans, gets rid of the Observer. He sees the army coming. All right, Cure, spread to the left, spread to the left. Yeah, he's got to spread his army out. Get these Marauders up on the front. Get these Marauders up on the front. Oh, God. There's a lot of Zealot Storm coming in. The Marines way too clumped. Oh, they eat big storms to start with. They do get out of it without dying. And that Immortal on the right side does go down. Nice. First hold attempt for Cure, but Hero's the one who can afford these trades. Cure's going to struggle with them. And honestly, if a Prism hits his main base right now, I don't know if he can deal with it. Storm Drop coming in again on this side. He's thinking about it, and okay, not the best Storm. Doesn't hit too many units. Good pickups with the Prism there to bait the Widow Mine shot. Does dodge the damage. Hero fighting back from behind in this series. Cure, I mean, he's put up a bloody good fight. He's made it messy. He's made it a bit down and dirty, but I think Hero's usage of hallucinated phoenixes, recall, all the Protoss mechanics, the magic, the storm drops, it's making it so hard. Cure tries to dive forward, hoping there's no more storm. There is one more storm, I believe, in the prism. Is he going to land it? Yes, he does land a big prism on the big storm, I should say, on the right side. Big storm on the south as well. The Stalkers, the Archons, and the Immortals. Just overwhelming. Cure does not have the numbers. Can't fight against that army with what he had. Too far behind from earlier. And what a fascinating sequence that was when his army tried to extricate itself, get home. And I guess in hindsight's 2020, I thought continuing to attack was the right call for Cure as well. I could see the whole map. But it was at this moment where Hero goes for the counterattack and he goes to push. I think he needed to pull home. Right? Yeah, I think he needed to pull home. It just feels bad because you're going to lose a bunch of SCVs. He's going to recall anyway. And then you're allowing him to build a third and whatnot. But Hero was actually respecting the counter push here. Building the robo there. Building extra gateways. Dove in. Got, what, 7 SCVs? Something like that? 7, 8. And he's just going to blink away and recall. I mean, great play. Great play for Hero. Really well done. And you have to shove here, but you don't have enough mobility at this stage. So yeah, I think he had to bring these units home. But I think he was just kind of out-positioned. The way Hero gave up his third against the first push and dove across the map with the Stalkers, just excellent play for Hero. Brings it back and takes the win. All right, guys. It's the winners match. And beyond in the top right side of the map is going to open up with a Proxy second barracks. No, engineering bay. He's gone back to it. Now is Hero going to scout? Because Hero... Oh, no! Hero started scouting for this every single game recently. And that's why it's become kind of bad, because Hero scouts for it. Wait, Hero, you're going to react. Okay, pulls 4 probes down, plus the one that's already there. Returns the minerals first. Great reaction. Ooh, this is interesting, guys, because when his match... Byun was doing this too much, and I was really hypercritical. And during the last Pigfest, he stopped doing it. Because Hero and other Protoss players would always pull a probe down to intercept it and shut it down. And in this case, it's just not a good build order. You don't get enough value from this. So this is going to put Hero a little bit ahead here. He could even send a probe back to mine in the main now, or even 2 of them potentially. But that does get cancelled, and it's going to be a slightly negative opening. He does have a second Reaper queued up. I think that's a misclick for Byun. I don't think you want to go 2 Reapers here. Because surely... Yeah. Oh, that's a little bit of a build mistake. We're going to go high ground CC. There we go. Does cancel the Reaper now. Fixes that up. Command Center goes down. Now, guys, Hero is a favorite, of course, in this matchup, right? Hero against Byun. Winners matchup. He is the favorite. But if Byun can even make this close, I will be so, so happy. Because I feel like, you know, we need a Byun or a Cure to have a chance against Hero. And right now, Hero is mauling nerds. You know, who knows? I wouldn't mind a Hero Maru finals if Maru can, like, show us some inspired genius Terran ways to take him down, catch him off guard and the like. But I think Hero's done a really good blend in his previous series of mixing hallucinated phoenixes in with not just rushing sentry every game. And I think that's really hard for Terran to deal with. If you're clever with when you add that sentry in for the scouting, it's so nice. He does see the command center. He sees no factory here, which means he knows there's no reacted factory. If that probe escapes, that'll be kind of amazing. What's he doing? Okay, he's going to hide south. Yeah. Reaper was looking for him, trying to hide on the left. Oh, Reaper wants that kill. Oh, perfect grenade. Nice move. Byun. Hello. Oh, that's beautiful. Going to have the ledge, but the Stalker's down below. Trying to get rid of this Reaper to remove Byun's map vision. 1 hit point, Reaper. Puts the middle finger up behind him and laughs as he gets away from that Stalker. Extra Stalkers out. Twilight Council coming up. Second gateway in the natural. No wall off because there's no factory on the reactor. I think if there was a factory on the reactor, he would have built the gateway here. But if there's no reactor factory, you're not going to need to wall off because there's no double Hellion production. So I think a smart adaptation from Hero. Very fluid as always. Command Center's going to float down. 4 worker lead for Protoss this early. Nothing too crazy. And it is going to be a 3rd gateway and a robo. So pretty typical play for Hero. Nothing too cray-cray. Can he finally catch the Reaper? And the answer is yes. Oh, sorry, guys. We had that selected. When it died, I guess it hopped to the next unit that Byun had selected. Depth's going to shade in. Depot does raise. Siege tank building. And Widow Mine drop. Double Mine drop going out. Not a bad move, the double Mine drop. There is enough dead space over the forest here to hide. Oh, Adept still being a nuisance. Gets a hit off. How many Stalkers are there, guys? 3 Stalkers already on the edge of the natural. Medevac changes direction. It's going to be a good idea. Blink's almost ready. Problem with this timing on this drop is if Blink kicks in, he can actually bait the Widowmine shots and not even lose a probe. Oh, great positioning by Hero. But Byun's going to commit to it, realizing Hero wasn't really watching. And he's going to get one Widowmine in there. I don't think he gets the other one down, though. Oh, and he blinks to dodge it. Oh, it's a shutdown. That's a shutdown. Doesn't lose anything. Pulls his probes away, sends them back to mine. Great handling. And look at that. His Adept got away in the midst of it as well. Genius. The fact that he thought about keeping the Adept alive from the move out at the same time. I'm just kidding, guys. He F2'd it. I'm pretty sure he F2'd the Adept. I could be wrong. But I'm almost certain he just F2'd it. Sorry, just poking fun. Hero fans, I am Hero's #1 fan. I know some of you guys get mad when I make fun of the players for their habits, but it is just funny. Sometimes, you know, sometimes you get some little benefits to your habits that aren't even intended. Raven's going to go out that side. Stalkers are coming forward. Still no third Nexus yet. How many tanks have we got? 2, 17 Marines. Great wall off here. Blinking up there is not going to feel good. I mean, he could. You can almost blink past the wall off. Raven's going to go for it. Third Nexus has just started. Adept gets inside the Marine. In the main, Marines will deal with it. Natural's wide open. There's a lot of Marines, though. Yeah, blinking in there would have been a bad move. Great pattern recognition. Oh, dude, did he not auto-turret the Natural? Oh, he flew past the Natural into the main, which had the battery. If he did it on the Natural, he would have actually done good damage. Tank does kill a Stalker there. Dude, this is so many Stalkers, guys. 14 Stalkers, no damage. Byun, like, had a bad start, but he might actually be okay now. The Widowmine drop not doing anything. I mean, it's so many Stalkers. If Byun can play really clean for the next minute, that'd be great. But, he's leaving the main open to the Stalker drop. He's pulled all of his bio out of position. Byun's kind of F2ing his army back and forwards a little bit. Tank gets a shot off. Good SCV pull away, though. Only losing 1 so far. Marine Marauder's going to chase him away. Hey, good play. New Observer comes in on the Natural. He sees it. Byun's so good at spotting Observers. He's so good at that. Tanks scare those guys away. Depot does survive. Forge, Robo-Bay just now coming in. So we're going to be stuck on just like 3 racks bio up against Stalker, Sentry, Zealot for a while. Medevac's here. Stim's almost done. Shields, I think, is done. Oh, Tank gets blinked on. Crazy dive there. For Hero. Hero has lost only 3 Stalkers this game. I mean, it's acceptable. And keep in mind, guys, he forgot combat shields, though. Byun has forgotten combat shields and made concussive. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Huge mistake, Byun. Oh, we cannot be affording this. He's really committing to this push with no combat shields. He probably assumes it's coming in. Oh, this is a disaster because he doesn't realize. Oh, no. And he's so occupied with his army and stuff. No third command center just yet. I mean, Byun has to push right now. Combat shields does start. Okay, he notices. He notices the upgrade's not there. It's still a minute 20 out. Stalkers pick off another Marine there. They do take some damage. They blink away. Some of the units do stim. There's only 6 Zealots, 2 Sentries. Can Byun make magic happen? This ramp is always very hard to push. Very hard to push against force fields. Oh! Hero thinks about poking down the ramp. It's kind of crazy here. Don't go up the ramp. Don't go up the ramp. Byun stims up the ramp. The Mad Dog. Oh, there's a Colossus here, though. And that is not going to be good for him. Oh, if a force field trapped in there, that could have been a disaster. Tanks, great position, though. Good shots. You can get rid of the Observer. That'd be great. Colossus thinks about flanking to the left. I don't know why you do that with a Colossus. It's more of a Zealot move. And Byun's going to pick up and get out of there. He does have a third command center started, but only just started. Just leaves 1 Widowmine behind. 1 does get taken out. The other one looks like it's going to probably get hunted down as well. Marine Marauder does punish a little bit. Oh, he gets 2 Zealots. He's got to pull back and heal, man. Combat shields almost finished. Not quite, but almost. Prism. Dude, the way his Prism is there, it kind of baits a stim out of Byun. Hero kind of baiting him. Oh, dude, the Stalkers could jump on that. Oh, Byun. Careful, dude. You can't chase that far. Second Forge on the way. Third base survived on 60 work as Hero drops a 4th. As good as it was for Byun to not throw his army away, one has to wonder if he had combat shields, could he have pushed a bit harder? Getting some good value with his army, though. Byun really putting up a good fight here against Hero. Viking goes to the north as well. Make sure that Prism can't find anything. Zealots and Pylons spreading across the map. You know, one thing I wish we saw from top pros a bit more in this matchup, guys? I really wish corner gateways. I love it. I think on this map especially, there's a gateway there, a gateway either here or up here. It's just so nice for your ability to, like, warp in Stalkers and cut off a retreat of a drop, send Zealot counters, you know. Gives you map vision. It's not too expensive. I don't know. I love it. I think it's just one of the most underused moves, but just a personal thing I'd like to see, you know, occasionally mixed in. Doesn't have to be every game. Disruptor's now coming out. Second Robo, extra gateway is going to take it to 7 gates. He's only on 6 so far. Wow. Hero did this all off 6 gateways. Well done. When you are pumping out of the Robo non-stop, you actually can't really support mass gateway. So, good management. Prism speed's coming in. Beyond's thinking about pushing. He's got ghosts. What's the Viking against Colossus count? There's going to be 2 Colossus against 4 Vikings. 2 more coming. I think he'll wait for 6. I think with the tanks as well, that's enough against 2. But it's the Disruptor shots he's actually got to worry about. So the question is, does Beyond realize that Hero's pivoted away from the Colossus so early? And if you can fight before 2-1, that's going to be a big boon for Beyond. I love the way Beyond shows a move out because he knows that's going to force them to go for the counter. But he forgot to... Oh, he forgot about the drop. So this is like a really good Terran move. Is you move out just a little bit, and you know that's going to trigger Protoss to send in the Zealot counters and the Prism. But actually, pretty quickly dealing with all of this. Oh, he's catching so much. This is such a good trade here, but he does leave his Zealot in the 3rd, and the Prism somehow gets away from that. 4th command center goes down. This has been something I remember back in 2020, 2021. Players would move out with their whole army, go, I gotta push now, and Protoss would rip him apart with the counter. Oh, the Disruptors, watch out, Beyond! Watch out for the balls! Heroes coming forward. Balls to the wall. From the window to the wall, that Terran army. Let's take a Disruptor, a few Marauders go down, tank gets a shot, Disruptor does fall. Up in army supply by about 25 is Terran. 2-1 though is finishing. That's crucial. Crucial upgrades. Now the upgrade advantage pivots into Protoss favor. More Zealots arriving, but he was ready for it. The rally's there. Uses an EMP as well. Here we go. Can he get a position? 2 tanks are there. Viking Raven. There's a cannon and a battery that'll be part of this fight. Beyond. He goes for the anti-armor missile. Great anti-armor missile. Disruptors go forwards. Don't really land. Viking count is getting lowered though. He's got to be careful. Oh, good Disruptor shot. Gets a few ghosts there. Next one's decent as well. Vikings kind of A-move in front. A bit lazy on the Viking control for Beyond. That means there is 1 Colossus still standing after the Vikings are removed from the battle. Prism does get F2'd into the fight. Somehow survives. Nexus will go down, but Beyond's got to be careful. He's too damaged. He needs to go home. Pick up the tanks, unsiege, and leave. Pick up the tanks, unsiege, and leave. I don't think he can stay here, can he? There's a Nexus, but sniping that Nexus is it's definitely something you want. But he's only unsieged one of his tanks. He's trying to run home. And Hero's just going to counterattack. Hero, the Mad Dog right now. Goes across the map. He's on 2-1. He's starting his 3-2 upgrades. Zealot Stalker getting in there. The Bio is going to try and start this fight. Beyond may need to lift this base and pull the SCVs. He's got to be so careful. The ball's coming in. First one's going to land on a bunch of Marauders and Marines. Second one does whiff. But those SCVs mighty exposed. And with no tanks anchoring and only a few Vikings, it's hard to take this fight. Beyond still trying to dodge. Does lose a Marauder and a few more Marines. But the balls are empty. And Beyond says, okay, let's go, baby. He pushes forward. A lot of Zealots. The upgrade advantage does go to Protoss. The Siege tanks firing on the Disruptors and the Colossus. Colossus does go down. The Bio Ball trading reasonably well. Is it enough? Remember, Hero did lose his 4th base. Beyond fighting so much better. Oh, but he eats a massive ball. 12 kills on that Disruptor chasing. The Zealot had him distracted. And remember, guys, he lost his 4th command center. No, he didn't. He kept his 4th command center alive. It's floating. But that base being up down here is huge. As Beyond, I would actually swap to turtle mode and try to sneak a double drop to this corner. I think that's the best move. Obviously, I can see the whole map. He can't. Hero with a lot more map vision. That Disruptor shot was huge. These tanks get some really good shots if he sees those Stalkers. Catches only a glimpse of them. Nothing guarding there. Widowmine's over here as well. These Stalkers could pick off these barracks maybe. Tanks, will they get some shots? It's going to make Hero a bit afraid. Blinks away, takes a Widowmine as well. Nice move. Prism comes in. Speed Prism Disruptor. Watch out, watch out. Oh, this speed ball drop, man. So annoying. Hero's really annoying him. And if Hero can now rebuild his 4th here, he's already got this one here. So I guess it's... Oh, he's got this base. I didn't even realize he has this base. Oh, Hero's income's great. Yeah, he's bought himself enough time now. And Beyond, he's finally getting his 4th up. He's rebuilt his work account, but he doesn't have lib range. I mean, his 2-2 will catch up soon. He needs that 2-2 before this fight happens. Good scan. Zealot comes in. Tensor Tower does get up. Just a few Marines and Marauders stim to deal with it. Getting tanks up here would be really nice. I love that Byun repaired those tanks. It's 2 Colossus. He's only got 1 Viking. No tanks here. Does get rid of the Prism and the Planetary's up. He runs forward! Byun, the Mad Dog, runs in to focus the Disruptors. Oh no! Yes, he kills most of them. But what a crazy move into that amount of Protoss. I think he had to fall behind the Planetary there. He kills a lot of Protoss. That's the high risk, high reward behavior we expect from Byun. But I don't think that was a good enough trade, was it? Because Hero's got so many bases. I love that Hero still hasn't rebuilt. This is his best base available. He's like, nah, let's take this one. He's forgotten about this one. I mean, he's still traded better, but when you're playing on less bases like this, Protoss is starting to take the whole map. Feels like Hero's just going to be able to reproduce a little better. And I think it's like one good Zealot run by hitting the natural or Dark Templars hitting the base away from this just being lights out for Byun. Whereas Hero, he's building 2 next. He still refuses to retake this base that he barely mined from. He's going to take the corner instead. Building lots of observers, which is really good. Hero just wants to have the vision, make sure he can pick the fights. He's still looking. He's still fishing for the Disruptor drop shot, which is kind of crazy. Sits a single Marauder, that's it. Okay. Double Immortal production on the way. 4 Colossus. Oh no. Byun doesn't have the numbers. Gonna have to fall behind the Planetary here. He's got to pull the SCVs to repair. The SCV's trying to repair that Planetary, but only some of them. He needs more in there. The Bio's getting focus fired. Planetary only tanks so much damage because the way Hero micros his army to fight the Bio is just so good. And the Colossus focusing the repairing SCVs as well. Dude, what a really fun game 1. After the Widowmine drop got shut down, I didn't really feel great for Byun, but he completely stopped the Stalker pressure, had some decent fights in the middle stages as well, but I think that Disruptor shot slowing down, you know, Byun's counterattack was actually huge. I think if Byun, after that previous attack, was able to kind of move out and actually counter onto the map, this could be a very different situation, but this Hero Disruptor, look at this guy. Oh my gosh. So if it wasn't for that, Byun can like take his 4th, take the middle of the map, maybe slip a drop to the bottom right or the top left. You know, Hero might be in trouble, but Hero's able to like keep Stalker control on the front, get his Disruptors home, start playing with the Prism while being somewhat greedy behind it. And from there, it's really hard for Byun to keep up. GG, well played in game 1. All right, guys, going into game 2, dude, that game 1 lived up to the hype. That was way closer than I thought it would be. Really happy with Byun playing such a good game. Hero does come out on top, but some good moments for Byun. It's going to be Tokamak next. The immediate Probe Scout forces Byun to build the barracks a bit further back as this area is blocked. Not a big deal. Just a Hero basically saying, I'm going to sacrifice a bunch of minerals early and just throw your build off a little bit, but overall, you know, on paper, the Terran should come out slightly ahead in these situations, but just like delaying the Reaper a few seconds can be really nice, right? Delaying the potential reactor, that sort of stuff, and just disrupting him also can get in your opponent's head, which Hero's entire style of StarCraft is all about. Tokamak is a map with nasty tank spots TVZ, but TVP, it does feel like a map where, personally, I would want to be doing more like YOLO drops into the main. Because I do feel like if you just look at like main base up here on the right, left base all the way over there, or this third here, feels to me like Doom drops in the main and kind of getting that tempo multi-prong play might be the way to play this map. Just old school biomine, kind of stutter stepping on both sides of the map and using your mobility as a Terran to open up opportunities. Of course, that means you need to get into a decent economic spot. Now, it is going to be command center on the high ground. Of course, the probe sees that. And this Cybercore into Nexus, as is very standard for Hero and Max. They love getting those early adepts out to apply pressure, get scouting, and just not give the Terran any room to do any surprises. Now, you can see, look how much delay there is on the reactor. Guess what? With this build, it doesn't matter that much because he could only just then got the money for the reactor. So it's about, what, a 5-second delay from when the reactor would have started. It's not that as big as it would be with a build where you're instantly wanting to build the reactor. Because with this build, you naturally pause barracks production while saving for the factory and then saving for the reactor after that. Second Stalker's on the way. Chrono's coming in there as well. Third Stalker. What? Oh, Shizzle Fizz. Oh my god. Who does this? I was gonna... Dude, guys, and he's going Robo. Guys, is he gonna do the Blink No Blink build? Are we going back to 2016? So guys, in Legacy of the Void, they gave the Warp Prism ranged pickup. It used to be like a normal transport where it had to be directly on a unit to pick it up or drop it, right? Well, I mean, still, obviously, it still drops it in the same position. But nowadays, the Warp Prism can pick up from quite far away. So we realized that rather than rushing Blink, you could just rush a Warp Prism with 2 or 3 gateways, get 4 Stalkers across the map with a really early Prism, and you could micro as if they had Blink without actually having Blink, right? Drop in the main, you just micro them with the Prism, fly around, essentially do a 4 Stalker drop, maybe even warp in a few more Stalkers. And Terran players at the time were really struggling with it because they were just like, wait, what the hell? These Stalkers can get so much done, and you can see if they don't build like Cyclones or anything early, Hellions aren't great against this either. He's going to try and chase down the Stalkers. Hero just stands and fights. He's like, that's fine, dude. Oh my gosh, that Hellion trying to get the focus. It does get the focus fire down. Oh, is he going to lose that one? Oh, he does lose another Stalker. Good focus for Byun there. Could have been much worse if he didn't get that second Stalker. But getting 2 Stalkers there makes the trading dead even for now. SCVs are going to repair that Hellion. More Marines are building. Siege tank as well. Got another Stalker coming across. The Prism is very delayed. But 2-gate Robo, pro production. Giving Byun pinned up on one base. He's oversaturated on the main. So this is just, you know, making things awkward for Byun. Making it really awkward for him. Hellion pokes out, sees the Stalkers. He's got to wait for the siege tank to break this. Oh, he tries to run the gauntlet, and Hero's going to block him. Oh, that hurts. Byun's like, man, I'm blind. He has no idea what's going on Hero's side of the map. Tank's there. I reckon Byun scans this. Because Byun's super paranoid right now. Yeah. He's been pinned in his corner. He has no idea what's coming next out of Hero. So he's like, kill the observer. Like, you can tell he's very paranoid right now, and justifiably so. Oh, I didn't even realize, guys. Look at that. He's rushed a 3rd CC. Oh, and there's going to be a Storm follow-up probably for Hero. He does go Forge, Twilight, 4 gas on 2 base. He'll move out to take a 3rd Nexus, probably about 6 minutes. Maybe a little before then. He's building a shield battery right now, his Hero, because he doesn't really know what the follow-up is. And that Stalker drop is quite delayed. That's because he was finding damage without waiting for the Prism. Now it's going to come in. Luckily, there's already pretty decent tank position covering the front, but it's this right side that's open. Siege tank. Quick on siege. Oh, the command center. Classic 71 out of 71 second build time there. Stalkers one-shotting these SCVs. 4 Stalkers is the magic count, guys. 5 workers. What great damage. That's so frustrating as Byun there. He's got tanks covering the mineral lines fully, though. So any redrop will take damage from the tanks, at least. Could get maybe 1 or 2 more SCVs, but Hero doesn't want to lose those Stalkers. Raven's going to go across the map. Byun down in the work account. That 3rd Nexus does go down now. Charge as well. Interesting that he's building shield batteries, guys. He's only got 2 gateways. What's the shield battery going to do for you? I truly feel like Hero's shield battery timing is nonsense. Maybe. I mean, he doesn't even have Blink. I don't know, man. I guess he's got like a ranged army that can micro with batteries pretty well if there is some sort of surprise attack. I think at some point Hero has just decided to just do safety batteries every game. If he's like, I don't know exactly what they're doing after this, but it feels weird, right? Because that does delay your gateways going down. Raven's going to go in the main. This could get a bit of damage for Byun, trying to slow down the Protoss. Very important in this sort of game where he's clearly got to play a long game himself. He's on 3 commands and he's only building 2 SCVs right now. He's got to be a bit more consistent, I think, on the SCV production. He's going to be able to start combat shields and extra Marauder production. Medevacs are on the way as well. Hero's got a 3rd gateway building. This is what I'm talking about with Hero's gateway timing is ludicrous sometimes. I mean, he's got great upgrades, great tech. He's doing really good on the worker production, skimping on his gateway production, showing that he's not worried about any aggression at all. That's why the shield battery always just puzzles me, because it feels like there's situations where he knows he'll scout that there's no attack that could move out for several minutes, and he'll drop a shield battery, and I'm like, that's odd. This one makes sense because obviously that's just to stop the auto turret harass. Oh wait, was there a second Raven? Oh, hello. He hallucinates some Stalkers, does Hero? I think that might have been a misclick. Okay, double Raven harass. That's kind of annoying, but only 2 probes. We have to go back to the dead space, isn't he? Oh, actually, this dead space I think maybe is not the best to hide in. Marines in the middle. are going to deal with the hallucination very slowly. Fourth Nexus goes down. Still feels like Hero has too much map control for Terran to really be comfortable in this scenario. He stims to deal with the hallucinated Stalker. Not every day a hallucinated Stalker comes in. The joys of playing against Hero. Everything's going to be a little bit weird, a little bit different. Nice depot wall-off coming. It's a delayed depot wall-off, but you'll need that against Zealot run-bys for later in the game. One downside to both Ravens being on the Protoss side of the map is that you... Oh! Comes in. Triple auto turret. Only gets one probe, I think, there. Good blink reaction, man. This one's going to come in, grab another... Only one? He's got to shoot these guys on the bottom. Okay, gets 3 more probes there. Oh! Gets another one. Not too bad. Some damage goes down. The Ravens are still active. Work account's pretty similar. Beyond supply is ahead. Takes 2 gases on the third. Ghost Academy's coming up. Is he willing to push pre-Ghost? Engineering Bay has not made +1 armor. He's got to make that. And once again, I do think the window is hitting just before 2-1. Otherwise, you're committing to a much longer game. Goes second eBay Armory. I think Beyond's committing to a much longer game. I think he might have to try and play late game. Playing late game against Hero is so bizarre because getting to late game, it seems like is near impossible against Hero. Then again, if you get there, Hero is sometimes... We spoke to Clem about this in Pigfest 5. We're talking about what is it like playing Hero, you know, compared to playing Max Packs. And Clem was like, well, you know, you'd think Hero's not good at late game because he's a bit sloppy sometimes, but like sometimes you can actually beat Max Packs in late game and just outplay him there. Like Max Packs is really good early, like late mid game. That's where he excels. But late game, Clem's like, I'm actually confident against Max Packs in late game. I feel like I will always beat him there, you know, if I've got a really good setup and stuff. He said against Hero, sometimes it feels like if you go to late game, there's just nothing you can do against him. So like, don't get me wrong, sometimes Hero has a sloppy late game, but sometimes his late game is like unstoppable, best in the world. And that was kind of eye-opening for me, hearing Clem say that, the best Terran, say that Hero's late game is actually something to definitely be feared, and you don't want to just let it go there. Oh, what is this? Guys, that's a terrible auto-turret harassment. This one's not even in range of the probes. Don't like that at all. This Raven's going to try to sneak out of the base, I guess. I think he's just checking for extra bases on the left. I think this side would have been much better. Just throw some auto-turrets there. Army's moving out, but the observer sees it. But be careful not to lose these. This is a mobile force. I don't think this is a committed push. Byun has to run away from here. Committing to this fight would be absolute pure insanity. Zealot drop inside the main. Runs past the turret. Gonna try and take out the prism potentially, but he will lose the ghost. And a few Marines and SCVs. Bioarmy's getting chased on the front as well. Oh, Byun, not like this. Come on. Byun's still up in supply. He should not be getting overrun right now. But Hero, he sees an opportunity. And look at that. The Disruptor actually does take it. Okay, does take the tank volley. 10 SCVs go down. But you can see just making Byun multitask like that. Gets 10 SCVs done in the main. But 8 barracks is up. Ship weapons coming in. +2 attackers on the way. Stalkers come forward. Try to get a Viking. They don't quite kill it. Should absolutely repair that Viking just to spite Hero for that move. But Blink DT coming in. So Hero is going to be going for a big wave of Dark Templar. At some point, they'll probably blink on a planetary, try to snipe it. This Raven. Oh my god, run, run, run. Does get the Observer, and the Raven gets away. Poof. Byun roaming the map. Hero as well. Here we go. Zealots do run in. Okay, crazy situation. Only one Marine for the Disruptor shot. Good. Pull back with the Vikings. Zealot on the right side. Nothing there right now. Auto turret does not beat a Zealot. Byun's about to discover that. Zealot wins that fight really easily. SCVs are going to try and finish off a +1 armor Zealot. Not their best, not their forte. Oh, Zealot's finding the tanks. That's nice. These tanks were a really nice defensive anchor. They have been removed. Hero just removed one of the biggest obstacles to poking and prodding. Yes, the Vikings are still there, but now there's no answer to the Disruptors from range. Disruptor does float forward. Stalkers trying to come in. Another Disruptor rallies into the army. Byun's trading a little better than his opponent. His fourth is still not a planetary, though, and you can tell how much more stressful this is for Byun than it is for Hero. Hero's on his side of the map dancing, and Byun has to not make any mistakes. Byun trying to hold on. He's got to land those EMPs. The Vikings move out to the left. Disruptors are avoided. They land on the Zealots instead, but man, the Vikings just got hammered. Only one Colossus went down. Byun's army feels so small right now. The planetary not being up is a disaster. The SCVs need to repair. Disruptor shots coming in. Where is the rest of the Bio Viking? It's on the right side. They took so long to join in. Byun, he needed to get this army over here faster. Now he jumps on top. Does this actually work in his favor? No, the Stalkers cleanse those Vikings so quickly with the +3 attack. And this was a great series of fights for Hero. 1,000 resources ahead now. You've already got more maps. This is a really big problem for Byun. You cannot be getting out-traded by Protoss. You always play with less bases in TVP. And the Disruptor shots do go out. Oh, the Marauder's going to get another Disruptor. That's nice. Stalkers, though, being so cocky. Just so few units left for Byun. And unless he has a lib range transition, which I do not see on the way. 82 worker Protoss, and it looks like Hero will drown him here. Byun, so paranoid, so fearful, because Hero, you know, so in his face for such a long time, and feels like Byun, you know, he needs to be able to attack into Hero to find a way forwards. When Hero is able to get in his element and be the attacker, you got to favor him in the matchup, and that's exactly what's happened in this series. Byun had some really good moments there in the first game, but once he got stuck on the defense, it felt like Hero just was able to take too many liberties, and he does get first place in the group with flying colors. Hero still the current king of PvT, goes to the top 4 looking like an absolute beast. GG, well played. All right. Well, the fight for second place is on in the top 8 of GSL. Round of 8, Group A. And this is, of course, the elimination losers match, the lower bracket match. Cure in the top left side. I would say the favorite for this match, but only slightly. Because if this man comes out in form, holy moly, is he a force to be reckoned with. Rogue in the bottom left of Persephone. I think Rogue, though, he looked very, I don't know if unprepared is the right word. Almost like he just thought he could take on Byun with really standard play. Didn't have a good answer to the 8 racks. And just looked a little bit too straight up and standard in his play. And got kind of blindsided by the mech timing from Byun in game 2. He just wasn't ready for the 8 racks. He was kind of doing okay, but I think he overcommitted to Hydras. I just want to see a little bit more of a detailed and specific build. Like, if he's playing standard, I want to see him cut some corners, right? Don't just be rushing ling speed, making 4 lings against a command center first. You know, skip the ling speed a little bit. I just want to see a little bit of an edge to Rogue's build orders, whether it's a bit of extra greed or a little bit of extra aggression. I want to see that, and I think if he does that correctly, he can absolutely slap down Cure, because we expect 8 racks from Cure. We do expect 8 racks out of Cure. He does it a lot. It's not as all-in as a lot of other players. It's very capable of taking a 4th behind it, slowing it down. But, yeah. Also, you could try to escalate the multitasking. Multitasking isn't actually Rogue's forte, even though he's pretty good at it. But we do know that Cure can really struggle if you make the game very messy. So, you know, lots of counterattacks and big wild swings across the map can be good. Now, Cure can use this healing shrine. If he gets aggressive with Hellions, he can go back and heal on the healing shrine, keep trading hit points without losing them. If you rush for a full Ling army, can you get hard counted? Yeah, kind of. Once again, very conservative opening, guys. He's gone Ling speed. SCV was blocking the 3rd, so he actually doesn't sneak a drone out in time to screw up for Rogue. I don't know how well prepared Rogue is, guys. Because now he's going to struggle to take that 3rd. Serral usually handles this really well. His Overlord was late, though, this game already. Builds another one, starts droning. If he just builds a 3rd queen and starts moving this queen out, that'll be good. But he loses a drone as well. Rogue's looking a bit unprepared today, guys. I don't want to, you know, I got to call it like I say. I don't know how well he's prepared for this group. The Terrans especially. He looks like he's playing very generic StarCraft. These Terrans are bringing little curveballs to keep it really complicated for him. 3rd command center goes down behind this for Cure. Goes SCV, pulls back. He's already delayed the 3rd a fair bit. And he's going to keep looking to. Look at this. Oh my gosh, he's so annoying. And I think he's happy to get that delay. That's good enough for him. 7 lava idling throughout that. So slight delay on starting those up as well. Not a long delay, only a small one. I think Rogue handled this fine. But like I said, and I was saying this from the moment that Byun series was over, I'm like, I want to see Rogue come in with some really tight build orders and not get stuck playing standard reactive ladder Zerg. This looks like ladder Zerg to me. And that can get you in trouble. I'm not saying it's not like, oh, he's miles behind. Third getting delayed, it's not the end of the world. He did, like I said, built his overlords, kept building drones, moved his queens down pretty aptly. Did miss a few injects in the main, though. I would have preferred if he built the third queen in the main, since he pulled 2 queens to the front, and he could easily tell one of them to inject the natural. You can see he's missing quite a few injects here, but I think with the delayed third, the great creep spread should be fine. I think he'll be able to recover. Banshee on the way for Cure. Does he invest in Cloak? Hits 100 gas. Yes, he does. Okay, so 3cc, Alien Banshee, really standard play for Cure. Nothing crazy. And Rogue's going to go for the sacrifice to confirm this. Single Marine won't be able to deny it. Double Marine might. I like that he kind of hit his starport in the back. And Rogue wisely pulls back with the Overlord. And is probably just going to have to play safe. Because look at that, the Hellions are also going to deny that Zergling. Did he see the... Doesn't quite see it. Zerglings have pretty short vision. Really good play by Cure. Just, this forces Rogue, if he wants to play safe, he can't do the double Evo rush he did against Byun. He'll have to make a lair here at 4 minutes 30, second gas and a Baneling Nest. So the standard super safe, like, I'll have a lair ready so I can make overseers. We're getting to 4 minutes 40. It's getting a little bit late, though. If he doesn't go for that lair soon, the Banshees will have a window to dance around Spore Crawlers and find damage. 1 Spore in the main. I mean, he sees the Banshee coming, so he'd be crazy not to make a lair right now. He's building 3 queens. I mean, going 9 queen before lair. It's very playable. He doesn't... If he's good at pulling his drones away, he won't take much damage, but there's no queen in the main. Saw this Banshee coming. Didn't move a queen to respond. And the lair starts up past 5 minutes. A little greedy for Rogue. See if he can get away with it. His droning still being good. He's taking 5 gases at once. It's a classic rule of 1 gas build. And he's actually delayed his Baneling Nest until after the double Evo, which I really enjoy. If he's quick enough to saturate these gases, Rogue can start a pretty quick 1-1. But Cure is just playing so clean. Catching all the Zerglings. Like, yeah, goodbye Rogue's map vision. Zerglings going down. Double eBay in the back. Mules are still dropping. Second and third barracks coming up. Say overall, I do rate Cure's opening better than Rogue's right now. Man, I really want to see... I've been saying that ZVP is Rogue's only problem right now. His ZVT's out of this world. He 3-0'd Clem the other week. Yeah, it was an online tournament. I haven't actually watched those games. I got the replays. I'll be casting them at some point, but... It's... Oh, Banshee goes down. Does get 3 drones, but losing a Banshee is pretty costly. That delayed lair left some openings. I think catching a Banshee you're happy with as Rogue. 9 more drones going down. And now we want to see what is the response to 8 racks. He's gone 6 gas. I was saying earlier, Mass Hydra is not the answer to an 8 racks. You actually want to play Mass ling-bane, especially if you're going quick hive. His Overlord is mispositioned here. He needed to be slightly to the right. He wasn't on the pillar. Loses the Overseer while it's morphing. Too many small mistakes slipping through. I hate being super critical of Rogue, but I don't think 6 gas Hydra ling-bane is the most efficient for an 8 racks. That being said, if this is a 4th command center for Cure, he can absolutely get out of the woods. If Cure drops 3 more barracks, I am very worried. And that decision is made right now. Like, the money's coming in. Q is about to... With the gas, I think he's going to go 4th command center, and that's really good for Rogue, because it's going to buy him time to go, once again, Hydrogen Infestation Pit on 6 gas. Oh, man. I do think we'll see that 4th CC soon. No, it's 8 racks. He does this almost every game. You've got to predict this is coming. We talked about this before the game started, before the series started. What is the answer to 8 racks? Rogue has stopped at 72 drones, a little bit lower than Tokamak against Byun. So he is respecting it in that way, but going for ling-bane, Infestation for Hive, and Hydras, you've got so many upgrades. Your income is split in so many different directions. I don't even know if you can make enough units to defend. It's all about the positioning. Okay, so if the push comes down this left, you can see he's clearing the creep. You're going to need to swing around the right, clear up a rally, and then sandwich this push. But does he have the numbers to do it? Hive and 4 more drones coming in. Rogue is playing, yeah, Rogue is, and Lurkaden, he's playing like a ladder player right now. Guys, I don't see this working against Cure right now. It just feels like he's playing very standard without the knowledge of what his opponent's doing. Classic Rogue was so good at reading his opponent's builds. I don't know if Rogue studied Cure's play at all or prepared for this series. Giving up the base is a really good call, though. He's going to move to the bottom right side. Mass ling-bane getting ready for a counter. He's got a changeling, though. Sees the big Marine rally. He's going to have to come in and sandwich this. If he brings the Banelings in, he can sandwich this from 2 sides, shut this down. Or he can wait for Cure to move out. He's got to wait another 20 seconds. It's too early to go in because the army's still right there. It's a bit too early. Let's see if he can find the damage. Oh, this army's super slow reaction for Cure. He still hasn't turned around. Cure continues across the map. The mad lad not turning that army around is absolutely crazy. Rogue catches him. Oh, Cure dropping the ball. Rogue finding the moment that he needed. And he's going to kill so many workers. Those banelings getting on top of a lot of these SCVs. These guys will escape a little bit, but 30 SCVs going down. Massive play for Rogue. Is it enough? He's massing ling-bane behind. He's trying to get a second Hydra upgrade. He's got... does he have a hive? He's got a hive, a lurker, but he's spreading his money across so many things. I think pure ling-bane numbers are the most important bit right now. Double dropping the main. Q is saying, yep, you smashed my economy. I still have a giant army. Good luck dealing with this. Rogue's going to go for it right now. Ling-bane rolling forward. Banelings trying to get on top of the Hellbat Marine. They get a few good shots, but there's a lot of Marines behind that. The tanks are still there. The Marines diving into the natural. Rogue getting overrun here. Cure coming in with the same strategy he's been using for the last 3 months, and he has perfected it. He's so good at doing these pushes. He knows the angle. You know he's practiced this in countless custom games for today, figuring out where the best tank position is on each map. Marines dropping on the high ground. Queen's trying to kill a siege tank is really, really desperate there as every single queen goes down. Banelings. Oh, he gets a few good Baneling connects, but that's his whole army gone. Rogue cannot keep up. And Cure, man, we've talked about Cure's ZVT being his weakness, and in the last 3 or 4 months, he has given Serral literally macro matches where Serral is barely hanging on. He has taken down pretty much every single Zerg that isn't Serral, and he's looked really good doing it. Cure, 1 game away from eliminating Rogue. All right, guys, Cure in the top left. Looks like he's going to go for a 2-Rax Reaper, I would imagine, with that low ground depot. Rogue is going to go for the 15 hatchery opening. Not bad. And like we were saying before, we want to see a bit more pointed opening. And, you know, it was interesting. We had a question in chat after that game where Analysis was saying, hey, I mean, how do you balance it as a pro player, as these guys? Like, I mean, you can only have so many builds, right? You can't just pull out a crazy build every game. Like, how do you balance just playing standard versus, you know, doing special builds? And I was saying, well, it's not always about doing a super different build. It's just about making little adjustments to the situation around your standard build. Standard play at its peak has tiny adjustments, right? And one of the best things you can do, it is a 15-15, by the way. Oh, yes, there's a little black bar. The map's bugging out there. Look at that. That's funny. Just when I'm there. Oh, that's weird. Okay, I'll try to not put the camera there. Yeah, little adjustments. Like I said, Q is generally very conservative with his Hellions, doesn't dive them very often. Oh my god, he's going 3 barracks. So you can normally delay Ling speed, delay early Zerglings against him. You know, often you'll get like 4 or 6 Lings for the Reaper, but then you can go up to 12 or 16 Lings to stop Hellions running past. Clem will run past all the time. So it's really important against Clem to have those extra Zerglings out at like 4 minutes or whatever. Against Cure, you can usually delay those because he very rarely tries to run past the Queens with his Hellions. He's more of a conservative Hellion user. Just knowing these habits about your opponent allows you to kind of tailor your response, which is why I would have loved to see Rogue go like 3 or 4 gas mass ling-bane off of 75 drones. I think 72, 75, I think drone count was fine, but the fact that he went 6 gas, Hydras, and Lurker Den, and Hive, like it's so many different things against a guy who's just all inning on 3 base. And I think if Rogue just makes an abundant amount of ling-bane, he can jump on these pushes. Like, if you know ahead of time your opponent's going to 8 racks, that's a big advantage. But guess what? It's 2 racks Reaper. He's not scouting. The Overlord needs to scout, doesn't he? You're meant to go towards the main or into the natural to check the command center timing. Rogue has not confirmed it's 3 racks Reaper. And he drops the 3rd hatchery. And he's only now taking a gas. Oh no, Rogue! Rogue, normally you need to go in, but sometimes they build Marines. Normally there should be a command center down by now. That would confirm it, or going towards the main to see that 3rd barracks. He does not realize, honestly, losing the 3rd hatchery would be a good outcome for Rogue. He might straight up die because he's just started mining gas. He needs to build a spine crawler or something and just non-stop make queens. He's only got 3 queens. He's droning really hard. You do not need any drones. He doesn't see all the Reapers coming out. He has no idea. Oh no, Rogue, not like this. I don't think this has been Rogue's day. I do think he's a little underprepared today for GSL. His Terran opponents have come in so well prepared, guys. But it really does feel like he's just a little underprepared. And he's coming out and he's getting surprised. The Terrans are throwing the kitchen sink at him and he's trying to make 4 Zerglings now. Still doesn't have money for Ling speed to even start. He's going to drop a Roach Warren. That is absolutely the correct call. He desperately needs to get Roaches out to survive here. 3rd hatchery finishes. Cure happy to let that survive for now. He knows he can still pick that up later. And he gets himself a queen. Oh my gosh. 2 queens? 2 queens down. And these Reapers in the back are going to start to heal over time as well. that queen. If she comes and focuses the Reddit point Reaper, maybe she kills it, but she's going to lose her own life if she does that. Right, it's so easy for Cure to focus that queen down, and Rogue gets the hit off, but he loses the queen, which means he's got nothing. Slow Zerglings and drones against 3 ranks Reaper. Too greedy here. He was not expecting on such a big macro map to see the 2 racks Reaper, or even in this case 3 racks Reaper. Those Reapers derping out. A bit of a dodgy micro for Cure there. Oh, he's going to get surrounded a little bit. Okay, great drone surround. Good scramble for Rogue. This is still massive amounts of damage, though. And there's still no answer other than those roaches to these Reapers. They're going to fall back. Command center's up. He's got a factory coming in. +1 weapons. He will, of course, go for the 3 barracks Marine tank follow-up, as every 3 ranks Reaper always goes for after this sort of opening. And those Reapers going to back away, rotate around. He didn't kill the 3rd hatchery, Rogue. Dude, can Rogue come back from this? This is where Rogue has to show that fighting spirit. If he can bring it back from this, that would be absolutely amazing. That would be a pretty... And I think it's technically possible, but he's going to need to play super tight from here. Chat says only 7 doesn't sound like enough. You got to realize he killed 3 queens, 17 Zerglings. He forced 24 Zerglings to be built. This is all massive damage, but it's not sniping the 3rd hatchery that has me worried for him. It's 2 queens injecting. Reapers do manage to snipe a roach, which is very cute. That single roach still fighting. Cure still microing on the front frantically. SCV production's been pretty decent. He does hit a pretty massive supply block on 54. I think he should absolutely do a supply drop, and indeed he does. Reaper's denying creep, though. He's trying to stay active here, trying to keep Rogue on his toes. Rogue building a few more roaches, does get rid of one of these Reapers, gets another one. And he's going to lose another roach, though. So I think you're okay with these trades as Cure, especially now with Medivacs coming out. There we go. He's going to swap around. The macro's been sloppy. Cure's excited. He was not expecting to get this much damage. So he's had a few small sloppy mistakes just purely because he's like, oh, what the hell? I'm doing so much. And I don't think he was expecting to be finding this much success with the early pressure. Now, there are more drones building. Good worker advantage, but Rogue needs to know 52 drones is like arguably too many. Doesn't even have a lair starter. He needs to do nothing but Roach Ravager from here. Unfortunately, the Marines are already on the front. He's got to just build Overlords and Roaches, start trying to make Ravagers, but he doesn't have the gas. No gas for Ravagers. Slow Zergling's nearly worthless here. If the Marines commit, it's kind of crazy to commit without Medivacs. Just going to pull back and maybe look for the Overlord. That Overlord's not on the pillar. Second time in the series we've seen Overlord's not quite positioned just right. Rogue needs to pull this guy back as well. He's got 4 of us. He's droning! He's droning! Rogue! Rogue! Oh my lord, there's great. More drones? I get it, Laren and Evo Chamber, but come on, man. Medivac Marine, you know he's on 2 command centers. His 3rd's just started. There's greed, and then there's what Rogue's doing in this game. If he gets away with it, it is a big map. It might be the correct play. Oh man, I feel like I'm shouting about players being greedy on Maganatha all day today, but if he gets away with this, this will be like perfect judgment. 12 worker advantage for Rogue. Is he able to hold though? He needs to pull back. Pull back, pull back. He needs to wait for more Ravagers and Roaches to get in there. He's got to pull back. The stim comes in. Biles spread across the front. Easy dodges. Cure getting so much damage with these Marines. Dude, I think he's broken him. I think he's broken him. Maybe the Marines running out of stim. The drone's pulling a bit too late. Rogue throws out the W. He needed to pull back, bait some stim timing, and really try to kite that. But without Roach speed, it's so hard, even on creep. And he throws in the towel. A really bad day here for Rogue, guys. This was not his best play. I don't know if he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. It felt like his builds weren't that well prepared, but it could very well have been just that, like, the early games, he made a little mistake, and then his build was thrown off, and suddenly he couldn't do the plan he'd planned for. Had to play a bit more standard. But the fact that he wasn't prepared for 8 racks pushes, to me, I do feel like maybe he just wasn't quite prepared. You know, Beyond's been doing more 8 racks. Cure, you had to expect 8 racks in that first game. Got caught off by those. I do as well think it is worth going in with the Overlord and checking for the command center after that early 2 racks. Or head towards the main. You need to confirm it's a 3 racks. If it is, you can drop the Roach Horn earlier, get a few Roaches out and not take all this damage, but you've got to scout for it. And Rogue, a little bit of sleep at the helm today. GG, well played though. Cure is going to go that deciding match against Beyond. All right, guys. We've got Cure at the bottom left side of the map. Final spot in the group is up for grabs. And Beyond does what Beyond does every single time he's in an important TVT, and he just goes for the most aggressive build. Double Proxy Barracks on 14 supply. So you'll go Barracks, Gas, second Barracks, all on 14 supply, no worker production. Meanwhile, Cure playing standard. Doing this against Cure is utterly insane, guys. And let me explain why. Cure is the most common Terran to do an SCV scout in this matchup. Now, he just delayed his barracks for a few seconds. That was a little awkward. It's like a 1 or 2 second delay. That does matter in this scenario. But like I said, he's one of the few Terrans who will SCV scout in this matchup regularly. So I've always said this is one of the worst builds to do against Cure specifically. On the other hand, maybe Byun knows something that I don't. Maybe he's not SCV scouting as much recently. Certainly looks like he's not SCV scouting. He would have sent it out by a minute, I believe. And normally with the barracks, you send the Reaper down here to look for proxy barracks. And then the moment you see the barracks or the Reaper, you need to pull back his Cure to the high ground, pull SCVs, start Marine and Hellion production, and just stay up on one base. Oof, Byun loves to just go YOLO. Thank you, Prime Hybrid, for dropping in the channel for the first time. If you guys are enjoying the GSL casts, really appreciate the support. Thanks for dropping by. Been casting these live on my stream, usually live about 12 hours after the broadcast on a more American-friendly time zone. So rather than you guys having to watch at 3 a.m. in the morning, you can watch live on my Twitch stream at somewhere between 2 and 5 p.m. West Coast time is when we start the broadcast. Today's later. We started close to 5 West Coast, 8 p.m. East Coast. But usually it's a few hours earlier, closer to like 3 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. West Coast, 5 or 6 p.m. East Coast. There we go, guys. SCV goes home. Reapers are just waiting. It's Reactor first. Oh my gosh. Reactor first is really bad against this if the Reapers go in your base. But if the Reapers wait, oh, it's a disaster for Byun. Guys, we saw Maru lose to Oliveira. Same situation. You're meant to go in with the first Reaper against this specific follow-up. But because Byun chose to play blind and not scout, those 2 Reapers are going to pop, and they're going to give him so much trouble. And the factory finishes. He does get an SCV. Let's find how much damage he does. Okay, he's already got 2. Nice start. These SCVs are going to need to threaten the Reapers at some point. 2 Reapers about to pop out, though, guys. Cure, he's lost 4. He can lose about 6 SCVs and still be okay. Because remember, Byun is so committed here. 3 Reapers, and... oh, he's going to get another one, is Byun. Gets another with the grenade. And doesn't lose any. That's great. 7 SCVs is good damage, but if he doesn't delay the command center, he could be in big trouble. Cure, prioritizing SCVs. He's got to build another Hellion. He's got 2 more Reapers building. Right now, 4 Reapers does beat 2 Reapers and a Hellion, but as these other units pop out, it'll turn very quickly in Cure's favor. You've got to be careful here as Byun. Byun's found the damage so far. Can he turn it into something more? He gets the SCV, gets out. Beautiful play by Byun. Zoning with the grenades. He's still building Reapers, though. Is he overcommitting? He doesn't have his own command center up. He is on 22 workers against 16. Oh, here we go. Cure's going to dive. Cure does get a Reaper very early, but he's already lost a Hellion. Both Hellions, in fact. Great micro for Byun, and I think he's going to win the fight. Close, but oh, he's got the extra Reaper rallying in, and oh no, Cure, he's gonna lose to it. Byun, even with waiting for the Reaper to pop out, the second one gets the damage. I thought Reactor first would have time to pay off. Turns out Byun just too good with his Reaper micro, and Cure maybe should have canceled the command center and tried to build up, but he'd already lost so many workers, just couldn't afford it. Really nice game 1 for Byun. All right, guys, nice aggressive game 1 victory for Byun as he messes up his worker split pretty badly there. Over-microing his workers at the start of game 2, but I love the effort. Now, Cure took a giant gamble, but realistically, that's the only build that punishes it. And as the guy who's known to SCV scout, you could argue your opponent would have to be stupid or insane in order to proxy barracks against a guy who SCV scouts all the time. What Cure needs to remember is he's playing Byun. This guy... proxy barracks is like half of his high-level TVTs, maybe 70%. We've seen him against Maru 5 games in a row in a best of 5, open double proxy Reaper, and barely lose 2 wins, 3 losses. Like, you got to realize Byun's insane. Byun loves attacking, and he will absolutely take those gambles, man. So, Cure does get punished the Reactor first. I do think he should have swapped to Marines rather than Reapers. Cure wanted to clearly dominate the fight and counterattack. If he swapped to Marines, Marines are cheaper. Even though they cost the same minerals, they build a lot faster, and they actually do more sustained damage output than a Reaper. Even though they have less hit points and they're not as mobile, they don't have the grenade. But look at that, isn't that funny? The way that lights up with the SCV's vision. Now, Byun has gone gas first, guys, so it does look like he's just checking for proxies because he knows he's playing a little bit greedy here. And if there is a counter proxy from Cure, he needs to know about it. So he's taking some real big safety precautions. And I think this guy comes back to build the command center. Or is he going to hide his factory? No, just scouting for proxies. All right. A bit of safety precautions. Comes back to build the command center now. Meanwhile, 2 barracks Reaper for Cure, but defensive. in terms of his placement. Still will obviously come across the map with some aggression. I don't actually know how this times out against gas first. Like, Byun's command center goes down, but his factory does get delayed a little bit by the fact that he SCV scouted. Wasted a few minerals doing that. But if he can build a reactor immediately, which I think he'll do, swap that over. Because normally they hit with 3 Reapers. If Cure comes in with 3 Reapers, the Hellions are going to come out very soon after that. And if they catch those 3 Reapers, it could be a very bad start for Cure. Cure, of course, will be going into Stim a lot earlier and double Medevac Marine drop, just naturally because he's got a 2 barracks opening. Wants to go command center first, of course. You're not gonna delay your command center to get a double drop up, but you can do 2 things at once. All right, Reaper defense for Byun solid. Factory almost finished there. See, the second Reaper's out. Third one is this guy, and like I said, 2 Reaper timing. Actually, sorry, this is the 3rd Reaper. Factory swapping. It only takes 21 seconds to build aliens, but Byun not watching. Oh, leaving his Reaper out front. Super dangerous. Now, he does see that the reactor alien production. He knows he's only got a little bit of time in here, but these Reapers are going to have fun with that time, man. Gets an SCV. Wouldn't mind a grenade being used. Not bothering for now. Oh, almost loses a Reaper, and he pulls out. Doesn't want to risk losing them. He says, oh, those aliens could be out any second now. Let's pull back and gather our forces. Great play for Cure to get himself back into a good position. Looks like this will be the last Reaper he's building, so it's going to be 6 Reapers in total. And it's double alien production. It's kind of dangerous, though. Be careful that alien splash. Oh my gosh, no zoning grenade? He's got to throw a zoning grenade. Throw a zoning grenade. Oh, Byun not willing to chase that. Another SCV gets sniped. Look at this. Cure's going to go in. That one. Reaper out front to take the first volley. Doesn't manage to snipe the SCV. Just going to pull back for now. And there we go. Starport. Tech Lab on the factory. Wants to build himself maybe a Cyclone. Or maybe just swap over for a Raven straight away. Probably a Cyclone, though. Hellion joins in as well. Byun not able to get control of the natural. Cyclone for Cure. Hellion Raven for Byun. Command Center's going to have to tank a lot of damage here. It's a tough start for Byun. Down 4 supply. Down 5 workers. His first build. Not paying off just yet. Should drop a mule on the main base. Oh, Hellions dive. Oh, he targets a Reaper. Oh, no. Byun, I don't think that's the play, man. Tries to just one-shot some units, but he's losing his Hellions as well, and does end up dropping that mule on the main, trying to lift it off, but I think these trades are just too good for Cure. Look at that, 3 units for 9, and that looks like game, because you got a command center up, you got 2 barracks, building medevacs, cyclones, you've already got these marines even rallying across. If you can't secure this natural right now as Byun, you are screwed. He's got to shut this down right now. He's going to go for it. Doesn't have enough to one-shot. Oh! Hellions, their shots are a little bit staggered. I'd love to see him try to do some defensive micro, pulling back some weak units maybe. Let's take out some units, but look, Cyclone Daddy's here. Cyclone Daddy's here. Cyclone says, get back up that ramp, boy. Nice depot raise to break the lock on there. Hellion is going to get locked on a second time. Will go down. Cyclone happy to have a party inside this base. Q doesn't even try to micro it. Too busy macroing right now and dealing with the auto turret. Raven takes a lot of damage. Auto turret gets a few SCVs. But of course, the reactor coming in, engineering bay as well. Byun absolutely wrecked in this game. Going to try and make some Raven Cyclone of his own, but he's just so far behind. Surprisingly, only 7 workers and not that far in terms of like overall supply. It felt awful, but I guess the Cyclone did go down. I have a feeling Q is going to build 2 medevacs, drop in the back of the main, and it's going to like literally win the game. But actually, with Interference Matrix, maybe that would throw the game. Maybe. Because if you drop 2 tanks, siege them, they get matrixed. Maybe Byun has the numbers to shut this down. Ooh. One medevac. Second medevac queues up. Let's go 7 marine drop. Stim won't be ready for this. There is no hole in the vision. Medevac's just going to have to dive in. Does he boost in? Cure, he was opening. No, there's no way that's out of vision, mate. There's a Cyclone coming. You got to get out of here, bro. Yeah. 2 SCVs in mining time. That's enough. Run! He's waiting so long. Oh, crazy. He's just going to commit. All right. I mean, he gets 6 SCVs. Tried to focus the Raven for a second there. It's something. It's not too bad. Mining time, 6 SCVs. He's going to go for that drop we were talking about with the double drop towards the main base. It's only going to be 6 Marines, 2 tanks. This is actually kind of scary for Cure right now after throwing the Marine Medevac, where he's building Tank Viking Marine. Small counter thrust for Byun. Big counter thrust for Byun. With the Ravens not at home, this could actually be excellent. These Medevacs not really timed together. Cure, it feels like Cure is so good when the game's going stock standard, and sometimes when he gets like more damage than you would expect, it almost feels like he starts to just be like a little panicky occasionally. But overall, his macro is good. The drop goes in. Byun has nothing. Byun has to win with this push. And the double bunker. The double bunker is so smart. Oh, that's such a good move, man. Good luck busting through 2 bunkers, bro. Yeah, I mean, there's just no way. He can just mass repair the bunker. The tank, the interference matrix will wear off. Even though you can take out the siege tank. He lost vision of the tank, did he? Oh, he's going to kill the tank. He finally finishes the tank. He can break the bunker now. But look, Byun's on top of the production. So you finally breach the natural. Can you get any deeper? I don't think so. Not with that siege tank now sieged up here. No attempt to break out of his own production for Byun. Cure has control. He's got SCVs to repair. Yes, he lost a lot. But if you can't even build units, you are screwed. Cure fights back and forces the game 3. All right, guys. Wow, this group's about to end. Sorry about that scoreboard. That's not correct. Best of 3. There we go. Cure in the bottom left side. Byun in the top right. It's Ultra Love. And who knows what's going to happen now. Because they've both got some heavy damage early. Ultra Love, it's a tight ramp. Decent jump in ledge. But it doesn't seem like a super ideal map to be doing any more Proxy Reaper shenanigans. Ooh. Gas first for Byun. 2 games in a row. I do like gas first. And you notice it delays the barracks a little bit. You can see the barracks is a bit earlier for Cure. But this allows you to play single gas into an expand. And still have very good tech timing. Whereas Cure is going to go for the more standard double gas, which, yeah, it's just a slightly different flow of build orders. Oh, is he one racks expanding? What's he doing? Is he going to go scout for proxies? Yeah, I think he's one racks expanding. No second gas. Okay, guys. So Cure is going to check for proxies. Doesn't want to get caught off. And he's going to play a lot more economically. Ooh. So it's going to be one racks expand against one racks expand. The difference is that Byun's going gas first. So his build's not quite as economic, but it's going to have quick attack. And does he actually commit to any aggression off of it? Or does he just build a few Hellions for safety? Normally you do commit to Hellions for safety. No scouting for either side of the actual opponent. Command center goes down once again a second or 2 earlier for Cure since he didn't go gas first. Bit more minerals being mining for him. Factory's going to go down. That does not look like a factory that wants to swap on the reactor, does it, guys? So he might actually just build Marines, build a Hellion, build a Cyclone, build a Raven. Could just be gas first into a super standard build. We may have a macro game on our hands. Now, of course, there are still, even when both players are playing pretty chill, the first few Ravens clashing is usually a deciding factor. And one of the best things that I did to improve my TVT when I was learning this modern Raven-centric TVT a few years ago is basically, I would always commit to a 3 Raven push. 3rd Raven comes out, at least 2 tanks, and initiate the fight on your opponent. Because if you get surprised, your opponent jumps on you, they land all the Raven spells first, they can kind of just annihilate. But if you initiate, it's much easier to get good practice at controlling auto turret spam or interference matrix and sieging up in the right position and that sort of stuff. It is indeed just Marines and Hellions building, a bit safer for Byun. Look at that. So because he goes for the Reaper here across the map, he builds 2 Marines afterwards, but then goes Reactor a little bit quicker, whereas Byun skipped a bit more production on that. And we are going to see probably Tech Lab. Yep, Tech Lab. And you can see the starport's about 20 seconds ahead for Byun. I mean, it's largely similar. It's just you've killed one SCV as Cure. You know he's gone one Rex expand. Byun doesn't know this. So this is a big advantage to Cure on the information. I would much prefer his situation, even though his Tech Lab and Starport are a little bit later. I don't think being 15, 20 seconds behind on your tech's a big issue, because you also catch up with the fast 3rd gas. 2 worker advantage is nothing to sniff at. Oh, Medevac. Yeah, Byun likes to be active. Doesn't like to just chill. Wants to be active. So Cure is going to be more defensive, Byun more aggressive. Now Byun, King of YOLO drops, King of Mass Marine. This map's not amazing for Mass Marine. There's a lot of choke points. If you play Mass Marine, you need to be more counter-attack focused. But Byun is not going to be keen to play a straight-up tank Viking Raven War, a late-game, technical, slow kind of chess maneuver. Byun is the guy who wants to just knock the chess pieces over, turn the board upside down and start playing checkers. You know, he wants to change the game and play a big asymmetric battle of movement and mobility and tactics and micro. Cure, on the other hand, is the technical late-game guy who is so much better at calm, cool, collected late game. Maru being probably the only player who can really beat him there. Maybe Clem these days as well. Clem hasn't played a lot of TVT though, has he? He's been dodging that matchup for PVT. All right, drop comes in, finds nothing. At least he knows about the expansion timing now, does Byun. Thinks about bombing the SCVs for a second, does change his mind. Interesting that there's no Cyclone for Cure, guys. So he's going to have a better front-on fighting army. Cyclone's good for stopping drop harass. It's good for flexibility, but it's just not very useful in big battles. So being up a siege tank, that's really going to help. Third gas is now on the way for Byun. Look at the marine count. So Byun is cutting maybe marines a little bit here or there to squeeze in the quicker third command center. Drop pokes in, finds nothing. Barracks lifts off. He's going to swap the barracks and the starport. Very standard there. 2 ravens for Cure with Matrix. 3 ravens. No, sorry. Also 2 ravens with Matrix for Byun. I mean, it's pretty much a mirror matchup. Third command center is a few seconds behind. Remember what I said about push with those 3 ravens, couple of tanks? Well, this is the sort of push we're looking at. It's only 2 ravens in this game, but still, same idea stands. You can Matrix the tanks, siege up and kill them. Bam! Great fight for you. Byun pokes in and boosts away. Oh, he's got to be careful, mate. Does he realize these units not being in the fight's going to hurt? He actually could have gone in and done some real damage there. He had no idea that Q has moved on this map. Oh, gosh. Byun, no spotters at all. Oh, here we go. He senses, though. He sensed it. Cyclone's a better poking unit. Byun goes a bit too far forward, though. Oh, good lock on. SCVs need to fight. Good SCV pull. Auto turret spam. One Raven gets sniped, though. One of the Ravens got sniped. Cure kills a lot of workers. The drop from behind, though. I think this is better for Byun than Cure, guys. And the reason is, you might be thinking, what are you talking about? He lost 13 SCVs. But look at the army now. Because now, if Byun can repair the tank and Hellion, and then counterattack, he can also do a marine drop in the main while pushing the front, and potentially deny the third for a long time. It's still contentious, don't get me wrong. If he can't find damage with his army right now, to be fair, the army size isn't that different. Viking advantage goes to Cure. Cure's even building libs, which he can go siege one in the main while defending with the other one. Oh, damn, Cure might actually be perfectly fine against the counter. If Cure defends the counterattack, that 13 worker advantage is obviously going to be worth way more in the long run. Even feels cocky enough to go for a bit of auto turret harass, gets himself an SCV kill. Not bad. Not bad. He sees that the army's moved out as well. So he's very aware of what's coming his way, and just turtling on 2 bases, absolutely the play. 4 barracks building, stims on the way. Raven will go down to the Viking. Byun is building 3 workers at a time. He can claw his way out of this economic ditch that he's in. It's not like he's dead in the water economically. The problem is he might feel too much pressure to attack, and that could be bad, but double matrix on the tanks and just shove. Double matrix on the tank and shove. Third tank comes in from behind, and I think seeing the third tank, he should know that he can't take this fight. Third tank plus SCV pull and the Vikings landing would clean him up. If there was no third tank, maybe. Liberator sneaks out the right, Liberator out the left. Oh, this is an excellent play. Cure realizes, look, my third's going to be delayed, but what if I take you to D-Town? Going to go for the double backdoor surprise. 3 barracks are up. 1-1 upgrades on the way. But it's 5 barracks for Cure. Some of those reactors already finishing. Only a 10 worker difference. Still a very close game. The Viking advantage means head on. Much better setup for Cure. And the double backdoor surprise. Look at that. Vikings on the front. Liberator in the natural and a Liberator in the main. Oh, this is so nasty. Oh, Byun reacts pretty quickly, but with nothing that shoots up there. He's got 2 Vikings about to pop. Look at that. The Liberator even moves forward. I'd actually love to see that Liberator on the left escape. Oh my gosh. Oh no, the Marines, they're all dying. Can they even kill it? Okay, the Viking comes in. This guy needs to get out. If Cure gets out, it's massive mining time. Oh, and now you know Byun's going to be desperate with his army. He might try to force a fight, and if Cure like stops one more fight, it's lights out for Byun. But Byun's sneaking around. Byun's sneaking around. He scans. He's counting. He's going to go for it. Double matrix. Takes a great siege up position. The Vikings will clean the air army, but the auto turrets do fall. Can Byun's tanks clean this all up? He's lost most of his supporting units, but not all of them. The Viking's going to land. 2 more tanks coming with the Unsiege. The Viking land is supremely confident, and Cure slaps him down. Beautiful. I mean, this was just clinical, wasn't it? He prompts Byun into a desperate position. He waits for Byun to attack, gets him with the double backdoor libs, and then forces Byun to make a high-risk play, shuts it down. Fantastic. Wow, 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 wow. Cure's got this in the bag. Up 40 supply. Vikings will push down the Raven. And that was excellent TVT. You can really see just how good Cure is, man. Such a good player. And Vikings surprisingly good against siege tanks when they land. Any mechanical units they do really good damage against. The landed Viking, if it wasn't so bad against Zerg, I swear, we might even see it. Like, if it got the bonus damage to Zerg armored units or something, might actually see it used. Oh, Marine tank Stimmy! Massive. He just knows he's got the numbers. The tanks march forward, and these Vikings even landing on the front. He's got the numbers. Byun cannot get hold of his third. And it looks like Cure is going to sneak through with that second spot. Behind Hero, and it looks like both Rogue and Byun are going to be eliminated in the round of 8. Still an admirable performance for both of them, but it's Cure and Hero that go to the semi-finals. GG, well played.